Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I imagine we have a few more members who are trickling in. Welcome to the Community Board 8 Street Life meeting. If this is your first time, happy to have you here. If you're coming back, it's nice to see you again. In the way that we're going to do this is after each business has the opportunity to present what they're planning for us, I will then go to the members of the public for any comments or questions on the applications and then to fellow board members. Any action, this committee is going to go to a full board vote in May 16th on a Wednesday. I'd also please like to ask you all to address comments to myself or my co-chair who'll be joining us shortly. We'd like to avoid any crosstalk. Let's also please observe the norms of decorum. We are all here to get to a communal outcome. I also want to remind everyone to try to be succinct and keep comments to the merits of these individual applications. We have nearly 30 pieces of business to consider tonight. This is a lot. In the time that I have been chairing this committee, I've been heartened to see how we've been able to move things along in our meetings. To that end, I have requests of the members of public, board members, and applicants. Members of the public, please keep your comments brief and to the points of these applications. I know that on multiple of these applications, we'll have multiple members from the community talking. So please, if a point has been made, recognize that it has been made and offer a new one if you've got it. For board members, please be sure to follow along by having the application materials open and in front of you as we consider each entity. Please also be at the ready to make motions to approve or disapprove and call the question as well. For the applicants, please tell us your location, your hours of operation, if this is the first time you're having a sidewalk or roadway cafe, any changes from your setup from the last time you had outdoor dining in place, any complaints that your business has faced with roadway or sidewalk dining, and what you've done to address and remedy these complaints. Importantly, this meeting will go faster if you say, we will comply with all the rules and regulations from the New York City Department of Transportation. I also want to remind you all to please take down your postings in the areas that you put them up upon the completion of this meetings. Now I'll turn things over to John or Jordan to give us the rules of the road.
Good evening. Welcome. This is your first time joining us. You'll notice they're all currently muted. Everyone may mute throughout the meeting except for co-chairs and presenters throughout the meeting. Following the presentations, as we move through the agenda, the co-chairs will call on members of the public wishing to speak. You can speak by going to the right icon on your device and pressing the raise hand button, not the wave or thumbs up button, as those will disappear. Only press it once. If you press it a second time, your hand will go down. If you are calling on your phone, press *9 to raise your hand and *6 to unmute yourself. Be on the lookout for any prompt asking you to confirm to unmute yourself. And of course, the co-chair is asking you to unmute yourself. The chat is available for technical support only to help with Zoom software problems and to check for any technical support issues, not to ask the co-chairs for questions. They will not see the chat. If you are using an older version of Zoom, you will need to go to the participants section where you will find the raise hand feature there. Do not raise your actual hand or wave at the screen because we may not be able to see you. Chat me for technical support.
Thank you very much. Let's go to our first applicant. Is there a representative from Corner Joint LLC doing business as Knightley's here? I see Stephen Vasquez.
Yes.
Great, Stephen. Can you tell us a little bit about your application?
Hi, yes, I'm Stephen Vasquez with Warren Callion Maddox on behalf of Corner Joint LLC, DBA Knightley's, which is located at 1496 2nd Avenue between East 77th and East 78th. Knightley's is owned and operated by the Lasardi family, who, of course, have been operating in the neighborhood now for over 3 decades, and who also owns Lasardi's, Uva, and Uva Next Door. There are two applications before you tonight. The first is a DOT outdoor seating application, and the second is an SLA alteration to include the outdoor area in the pre-existing liquor license. If it pleases you, may we present both applications consecutively?
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Can we start with the alteration application?
So the alteration application is contingent on whether the outdoor seating.
Got it. I understand. All right, let's do the other way.
So with the outdoor seating application, this is Knightley's first application for sidewalk dining. Their proposal is 36 tables with 72 seats. The hours will be from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. No changes to the indoor hours. Application materials have all been submitted and all notices have been posted. Knightley's will comply with all DOT rules and regulations as well.
Okay, and you said this is the first time that you all are having an application for outdoor
For Knightley's.
for Knightley's, right? And I just want to note a discrepancy. I think the application had us with one more table and two more seats, but the numbers that you said, will you repeat them for me?
Yes, the 36 tables and 72 seats. That's the correct one. I
Okay, the
believe
application that I see is 37 tables and 74 seats, but you're telling me it is 36 tables and 72 seats?
correct.
Okay, great. Thank you. Are there any members of the public that have questions for this applicant? Seeing none, are there any members of the community board that have questions for this applicant? Robin.
Thanks, Lindsay. I have a question about your application. Can you please explain what the meaning of alteration application for expansion onto municipal property is?
So that is in the event the outdoor seating application gets approved. Since there's already an existing liquor license for the restaurant itself, we just want the liquor license to expand to the outdoor seating area.
Okay, but maybe I'm not phrasing it correctly. So let me just ask you again. Your space there is kind of narrow. Will you be going into your neighbor's space in the seating there?
No, I believe not. I believe how the floor plans are, it will be in the Knightley's area.
Oh, so you're saying only in Knightley's area?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Marco.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have, how many seats do you have inside?
I do not know that number off the top of my head.
You should.
Hmm.
Okay. Are you the attorney?
I am.
You are the attorney.
Correct.
Wow. Well, look, recently I received so many information about the regulations of the city, and that the city of New York is having a serious problem of
Mhm.
public bathrooms. So my question to you is, are you going to comply with the building code regulation, which is basically according with the number of, that's what I am asking,
Oh,
the
it,
number of toilets. It means it cannot be female and male. It can be unisex. That is allowed by the law. So, but according with the number, you have to have a specific number of toilets, sink, in your facility. If you can you provide this information?
so I just looked it up. There are going to be 108 tables inside.
108 inside.
108.
A
Yes.
table of seat or a table or chairs.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, please take your
It's
time.
30, sorry, it's 36 tables inside, 126 chairs. It seats 108. My apologies for the confusion.
No, it's okay. No problem. You can correct at any time. Uh, so do you have the public assembly permit?
I believe so. The restaurant itself has been operating now for, I believe, over a year.
Oh, in a year. If it's over a year, usually takes a
Y-
long time to obtain the certificate of operation, which is the same as public assembly.
Yes. So the restaurant itself is already operational as of now. It's just the expansion of the outdoor seating area.
Okay, I know that part because there are two issues right here. The number of toilets that is required, and because those people that are outside has to go inside your facility, and so therefore that number count in that direction. For the
Mhm.
public assembly permit, is just only required for the people inside only. And so these two issues, these legal two issues, made me concerned
Mhm.
about.
Hi, this is Harry Callion. I'm co-counsel on this. This is my associate Steven. Sorry, I was on here a little bit late. I didn't know we were getting jumping on this. Just to confirm, are we hearing both the alteration as well as the outdoor seating application?
That is
Yep, right
correct.
now we're starting
Okay.
with outdoor seating.
The
Okay, go
chair,
ahead.
the chair
Marco.
allows to do that. That's
Okay,
perfectly
yeah,
fine.
go ahead, Marco. What are your questions?
Oh, the question is, since you have inside 108 persons,
Yeah.
do you have a public assembly permit or certificate of operations to do that?
No, the maximum occupancy is 74. Massimo Lusardi is also on the call as well. Could we add him and unmute him? He didn't register. He wasn't going to be able to make it, but he's on here as well. He can speak to the application. The maximum occupancy is 74, so it's non-PA.
That is correct. But what you said that you have 108.
I don't,
Hello.
I don't know the answer to that. Here's Massimo here.
Okay, please.
Hi. Yeah, I don't know why that maybe he's getting confused with another client. I wish we had 108 seats, but we unfortunately we don't.
I think that Massimo, the confusion is the outdoor seating area has a certain number and the indoor has a certain number. We can pull those numbers up right now.
Yes, please.
I understand the question. We do have multiple bathrooms, and in addition, we also have a staff bathroom as well.
So no, the question is very clear. Do you have an inside only? How many people do you accommodate,
74.
included your staff?
74.
74. So basically, 108. That is not true. Is
That
that
is,
correct?
I don't know where 108 came from. Maybe.
Well, we can
Yeah.
correct. I think
Yeah.
look, we can correct at any time. Sometimes it happens. That's not a
I understand.
So yeah, that's okay. I understand that part. So basically, you requested for inside 74, period. And then for outside, it has to add it the number of inside plus the number outside. Outside is 70, it's apparently 70 persons.
72.
So 70 is 140. So do you have how many bathrooms? I need to know the toilets and the sinks and urinaries. You have it.
In-house, we have three.
3 bathrooms or three
Yeah.
toilets?
And we have two on the ground floor and one in the basement for the staff.
Okay, and the
And they
bathroom.
obviously each have a sink and bathrooms and whatnot.
Oh, okay, okay. So, well, I didn't review the code, but I think you are under that part. So therefore, I'm going to abstain. If I check according to you, it will be 140 persons. I will check with the code. If the code said it's okay, I will change my vote from abstention to support your application. Thank you.
Thank you, Marco. Just to clarify, the code what you're referring to is plumbing code, as part of the administrative code. What you're saying is, are there enough? Just to be clear, are there enough bathrooms to service that number of people on the indoor and the outdoor? The
That
74
is correct.
indoor,
You're absolutely
and
right.
72 outdoor. So the short answer is yes. You can confirm that. I appreciate the abstention. And we can provide that section of the plumbing code that.
No, I will. I didn't
Okay,
have
good.
no time. I know very well the code.
Okay, very good.
So
Okay.
I don't want to code something that I'm going to do something wrong. So I had
Of
to be
course, of course,
fair completely in
of
order
course.
to quote that part. But I will check.
That's
Thank you.
greatly appreciated.
Yeah, sure, sure. I try to be fair.
And once you confirm, if you can,
Yeah, I will change my vote. Yes.
wonderful. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you. Is there anyone else from the board that has questions or would like to make a motion? Bill?
Okay, approve as presented.
Okay, so the motion is to approve as presented. Does anyone want to second that? Robin is seconding it. Would anyone like to call the question?
Gonna call the question.
Great. So I want to double check with John. Our count right now is that I see it as myself, Robin, Bill, Todd, Marco Tamayo. So we have 5 members. Is that your count as well?
That's also my count, yes.
Okay, perfect. So this is a motion to approve. If you're abstaining or voting no on this, please let me know. Marco, I believe you're abstaining. Okay. Yes, let me recognize Marco and then Todd.
Thank you. I'm going to have to abstain, as I said before.
Okay, and Marco, you're going to be looking this up because I'm looking at the plumbing code right now, but can I outsource that for you to have an answer for?
Oh, sure, sure.
Okay, thank you. And then let's recognize Todd Stein.
Sorry, I jumped in on the middle on this one, so I don't want to, yeah, I'm going to
Okay, so you're
abstain
going to
just
abstain
because,
as well.
yeah, I'll jump in on the next one for vote.
Okay, great. So that looks like this is going to go down as a 3-2-0, 3 approvals, 2 abstentions, 0 disapprovals. And then we'll update that if Marco, once we get some clarity from Marco. Now let's go ahead and go to this next order of business that has to deal with this, which is extending the liquor license out into the outdoor seating. If there's anyone on the call from the public that has any questions or comments, please let us know. Otherwise, is there anyone from the board that has questions, comments, or would like to make a motion on this second piece of business? Let's recognize Robin.
Yeah, let's make a motion to approve this.
All right, that sounds good. Anyone seconds it? Okay, I see that from Bill. And then would anyone like to call the question? I see Marco's calling the question and Bill seconding. Perfect. So this is a motion to approve the liquor license expansion out into the outdoor dining element of Nightly's. If anyone's going to abstain or vote no, please let me know. I'm going to count Todd as an abstention on this one as well, or let's recognize Marco.
Thank you. I'm going to abstain because it's connected what I said before. And thank you so much.
Of course. Todd, would you like to abstain on this one as well? Okay, sounds good. So this is going to go down in that same manner as a 3-2-0, 3 for approval, 2 abstentions, and no disapprovals. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Just one thing, Lindsay, you keep doing the good work and the hard work. Thank you so much for all of your advocacy on a personal basis. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Let's go to this next application, which is Lexington Ave Corporation doing business as Bella Blue Restaurant. Do we have a representative from Bella Blue here? If so, please make yourself known.
It's Nella. They're at the bottom. If you're trying to unmute yourself, it's *9. I mean *6.
Oh, Nella Bombardieri. Okay, great.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Hello, everyone.
Hi, please tell us a little bit about your application.
So we have two things happening tonight. One of them I'm going to speak on, and the other one we have another representative for the sidewalk cafe extension of the liquor license. I'm doing the renewal.
Okay,
for
let's
Bella
do the
Blue.
renewal.
Say that again.
Let's go ahead with the renewal.
Okay. But tell me, I'm sorry, guide me.
Oh, well, you tell us a little bit about your business, the hours of operation, if you've had any 311 complaints and what you've done to address those 311 complaints.
Okay. So we are Bella Blue Restaurant on Lexington Avenue between 70th and 71st. We've been in business for 30 years. Nothing really has changed. We're still kind of the same over the years. We don't have any complaints against us. Yeah, I mean, we've been renewing every 2 years for the past 30 years.
Okay, so this is just your standard renewal. Great. Is there anyone from the public that has questions or comments for this applicant? Seeing none, let's go to Marco Tamayo.
Thank you. I would like to put a motion. The motion is to approve as presented. Is anybody can second?
I see Robin seconding. And would someone like to call the question? Bill?
Call the question.
Thank you very much. This is a question of a renewal for the applicant. If there's anyone who's going to be voting no or abstaining, please let me know. Otherwise, this will go down as a 5-0 approval. Okay, great. Thank you very much, Nella. We'll hear from your other representative for that other piece of business later.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. A special thanks to John for all of his guidance.
Yeah, he's
Thank you
wonderful.
so much.
Yeah, we're lucky to have him.
Have a good evening.
All right, let's
Bye-bye.
now move on to 1317 Restaurant Co. doing business as Cafe Luca. Do we have a representative from Cafe Luca here? If we do have a
Good evening.
representative.
Yes, you've
Oh, great.
unmuted me. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. So Lawrence Morrison and Mark Bash is also with us. He's the principal. So this is the renewal for 1317 Restaurant, which operates a diner for many, many years on 70th Street, between 70th and 71st Street, on First Avenue. Their hours of operation are 7 days a week from 7 to 9. I don't believe there have been any complaints. We'd ask that you renew the license, and Mark is available also to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there anyone from the public that has questions or comments for this applicant? Seeing none, let's recognize Marco.
Thank you. I would like to put a motion. The motion is to approve as presented. Somebody has to second. Thank you.
I see Robin seconding. Bill.
Call the question.
Perfect. So the question is for a renewal application for Cafe Luca. If anyone is going to be abstaining or voting no, please let me know. Otherwise, this will go down as a 5-0 approval. Wonderful. All right. Thank you very much. Now we are going to go to the bulk of what we're doing tonight, which are new applications to the Department of Transportation for sidewalk cafes. The first applicant that we have is 1688 York Cafe, doing business as Effie's. Is someone from Effie's here?
Yes. Good evening.
Hi, Sandy. Great. We can hear you. Please let us know a little bit about your application. And I'm not sure if you were here at the beginning, but if you do say that you will promise to adhere to all rules and regulations from the Department of Transportation, that will speed things up.
Well, my name is Sandy Dubon. I am here representing Effie's. The owner couldn't be here. So as far as I know, my understanding was that we apply for the street structure, which is gonna have 5 tables, 10 chairs. The 8 feet by 7.3 feet, and also the sidewalk, which is 7 feet by 11 feet. Gonna have 4 tables and 10 chairs. We operate, business opens 8 a.m. and it closes at 9 p.m. I don't believe we have any issues with anyone there. So that's as far as I know. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you're doing great. Don't worry about it. Nothing to apologize for. Is there anyone from the public that has questions or comments for this applicant? Seeing none, let's go to Robin.
Thanks, Lindsay. I'd just like to ask the applicant excuse me, do you have outdoor seating there now?
Yes, we do. On the sidewalk, we have 4 tables, 10 chairs.
Okay, I'm gonna defer to Marco now. Thank you.
Okay.
Let's recognize Marco.
Thank you. Well, I think probably it may qualify, even though you have one bedroom with just only 10 more people. And I would like to put a motion. I'm sorry that I shouldn't say that. Let me start saying again. I would like to put a motion and then to speak. Can anybody can second my motion?
Robin, I see.
Okay, so the issue is, I think to increase 10 more chairs, or 10 more chairs, basically, I think probably will be at the boundaries of the one bedroom or two bedrooms. So I think this is what I don't raise the issue of that part. And this is what I support this application. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's recognize Bill.
Let's call the question.
Okay, Robin seconding it. Very fine. So this is a motion to approve. If there's anyone who's going to be voting no or abstaining, please let me know. Otherwise, this is going to go down as a 5-0 approval. Okay, thank you very much. Let's now move on to our next applicant, which is 1679 3rd Avenue Restaurant, doing business as the district. Is there a representative from the district here?
Michael Kelly.
Hello, Mr. Kelly. Please tell us about your application.
How are you? This is a roadside application for the district. They're a Irish gastro pub. They've been open and operating over 12 years. I just want to correct one thing. We had a roadside on 3rd Avenue. We will no longer have. So that'll take 9 tables and 18 seats away. The roadside will only be on East 94th Street. The structure will be 7 feet, 6 inches in width with a length of 32 feet. The maximum number of tables and chairs will be 18 tables, 36 seats. We have 56 seats inside with 4 bathrooms. During COVID, the structure went all the way down the block. It's going to be much smaller now. The indoor hours are 11 a.m. to 4 a.m. Outdoor hours are 11 a.m., 10 p.m. Monday to Thursday. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Friday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Mr. Kelly, can you just help me square something away? I see on the application that it's for an outdoor roadway cafe with 12 tables and 24 chairs, but I think the numbers that you just said are different than that.
The numbers are definitely different because we originally had 56 seats, I believe. Let me just look at it. We originally had 54 seats, and then we're taking away 3rd Avenue, which would be a loss of 18 seats. So there's 18 tables and 36 seats. A revised
Okay,
plan
so
was
the proposal.
DOT. You might not have the revised plan. We can show you the plan that
no,
the one that was submitted.
Thanks.
It wouldn't be uncommon that you didn't have the right one.
Let's go ahead. Let's just like memorialize it. You're telling me 18 tables and 36 chairs, you said?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you very much. Is there anyone from the public that has questions or comments for this applicant? Seeing none, let's go to Marco.
Thank you. I have a question.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I think you know very well where I'm going. The issue is how many chairs do you have or how many people do you have inside?
We have, 56 seats inside with 4 bedrooms.
56 plus, how many bathrooms?
4.
4. Okay. Well, I will support your application. I cannot talk anymore because I already spoke different issues. So, but I will support your application.
And could I say one thing?
Sure.
We will comply with all the rules and regulations of the DOT.
Thank you. That's very important.
Thanks. Is there anyone else from the board that has questions, comments on this application? Okay, let's recognize Bill.
I don't want anyone approve it. Second Marco's approval. So I'm second it.
Okay. And then maybe Robin might call the question. Yeah, looks like that. Okay. So this is a motion to approve. If anyone is going to vote no or abstain, please let me know. Otherwise, this will go down as a 5-0 approval. Okay, that's what this looks like. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Let's now move on to, I feel so silly when I have words that I don't know how to say, but Bada Cucina, doing business as Bade Upper East Side. Will the applicant please tell me how you say the name of this restaurant?
Okay.
Thank you. Bote.
Okay. All right, so this is also a roadside cafe application. The applicant's an Italian restaurant that's been open and operating over 3.5 years. There will be 11 tables and 22 seats in the structure. The structure is 7 feet 6 inches by 21 feet 2 inches. We have 50 seats inside with 2 bathrooms. We did have a larger structure during COVID. Now it's just going to be in front of the restaurant. The indoor hours of operation are 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. Friday, 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. Saturday, 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday. Those are the indoor hours. The outdoor hours will have the same opening times and close at 10 p.m. And we
Thank you
will
very much.
comply with all the rules and regulations of the DOT.
Wonderful. Thank you. Is there anyone from the public that has questions or comments for this applicant? Seeing none, let's go to Marco.
Thank you. I would like to put a motion. The motion is to approve as presented. Thank you.
Thank you. Robin looks like she's seconding it. Would anyone like to call the question? Looks like Todd's going to call the question. And Bill is seconding it. Is there anyone who is going to abstain or vote no on this one? Please let me know. All right. Otherwise, this goes down as a 5-0 approval. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you also representing Sophia Fabulous Pizza? No? Okay. So if there's someone who's representing Sophia's Fabulous Pizza doing business as Serafina, please let me know.
Yes, hi, good evening. I'm Kevin Del Casal. I work for the Serafina Management Group, and I handle compliance and purchasing. So basically, yes, we are applying for Roadway Cafe. It's 20 feet long, and it would be 6 tables and 12 seats.
6
We
tables
operate
and
Monday through Sunday, noon to 10 p.m. And yes, we will abide by all of the laws for the delivery and the bicycles, etc.
okay. And I'm noting this is 6 tables and 12 chairs. In our application, I see it as 8 tables and 16 chairs, but I trust that the numbers that you have are the most accurate. Is
So
there anyone from the public that has any questions?
yes, we did have to redo
Go ahead.
it. Sorry to interrupt. Because of the manhole cover, which I could forward to you in afterwards if you like.
If you want to forward that to John, that'll be great. Is there anyone from the public that has questions or comments for this applicant? Seeing none, let's go to Marco.
Thank you. I would like to put a motion. The motion is to approve as presented.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's recognize Robin.
Largely irrelevant to this application, but what's happening with your space on 3rd Avenue and 84th Street?
Oh, we have vacated. We are no longer in operation there.
Is that a permanent decision?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. And I will second Marco's
motion to approve.
Marco's motion, yes, thank you.
Sure, and then Bill, it looks like he's calling the question. Okay, perfect. So this is a motion to approve. If anyone is going to be voting no or abstaining, please let me know. Otherwise, this will go down as a 5-0 approval.
Okay, thank you all.
All right, thank you. Let's now go to Loft Duff Restaurant doing business as Brady's Bar. Is there a representative from Brady's here? Looks like Peter. You should be getting a message to unmute from John in a minute.
Hello.
Hi, we can hear you.
Hi, how are you? My name is Peter Carew. I'm calling in on behalf of Locked Off Inc., Brady's Bar. It's a new outdoor dining application for Roadway Cafe, 6 tables and 24 chairs. It should be about 20 feet long and, sorry, I think 20 feet long and maybe 6 feet wide, 6 to 7 feet wide. Our hours of operation generally Monday through Friday. We're open from 4 until 4 p.m. until 4 a.m. Saturday, Sunday, 12 p.m. until 4 a.m. We would have the outdoor dining until 10 a.m. No alcohol served after 10 and allow people to finish up after that. Yeah.
Did you all have something set up during COVID that was similar?
Yes, we did.
Can you tell us what the differences would be between how that setup was and what this proposed setup is?
Well, we had a permanent structure at that time, and this, what we plan to put out is just temporary, something that can be moved in and out every day.
Okay, and can you tell me roughly in the table and chair setup, how many feet does a table take up?
2 feet.
I'm having a hard time with this drawing because it's a difficult rendering to make sense of.
Yeah, it's the way that it's my partner, he's the prime owner of the bar. The way he has it set up, he should have had the table smaller, one beside each other, and have where people can walk in between. He didn't do the drawing very well. Now we can resubmit the drawing if need be.
That might be something where we end up, hearing from members of the public or the board. Let's go see, is there anyone from the public that has comments or questions on this applicant? And then I do want to clear up before we go to anyone else. Would you stipulate to having the outdoor part closed by 10 p.m.?
Absolutely, 100%.
Great, thank you. Let's recognize Marco.
Thank you. I have a question.
No problem.
Do you have a sidewalk cafe too?
Yes, we do.
Are you going to serve in the sidewalk cafe the liquor or not?
Yes.
Why you don't include that?
We haven't received that application. We presumed that was a different meeting. We never got any information regarding that yet.
So basically, what you're saying is, are you asking just only for the road, but you are coming back for the sidewalk cafe?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, are you willing to accept in the a stipulation that's saying that you are coming back for the sidewalk cafe application?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Putting stipulation in here. All right, does anyone else from the board have any questions or any other comments or would like to make a motion? Bill?
Stipulated to approve.
Okay. Would anyone like to second that? I see Robin. And Todd's calling the question. Very fine. This is an application for a roadway cafe. If you're going to vote no or abstain, please let me know. I'm going to vote no on this one. Otherwise, this will go down as a 4-1. All right, 4-1 approval. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yep, let's go to our next one, which is Lex Avenue Bagels doing business as Tall Bagels. Do we have a representative from Tall Bagels here?
Michael Kelly?
Yep. please let us know what
Okay,
this is about.
Okay, so this is a roadway cafe application for Tal Bagels, 1228 Lexington Avenue, East 83rd to East 84th. They've been open and operating over 16 years, basically bagels and appetizers. They're looking to do a roadway cafe with 16 tables and 32 seats. It's 8 feet by 29 feet, 6 inches long. The indoor hours of operation are 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. The outdoor will be 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday and 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Sunday. There's about 50 seats inside with 2 bathrooms. We will comply with all the rules and regulations of the DOT. There is no alcohol. Sorry.
Oh, thank you. Is there anyone from the public that has questions or comments for this applicant? Seeing none, let's go to Robin.
Lindsay, thank you. This restaurant on 83rd Street has tables already existing, and on Lexington Avenue, they have tables already existing. On the side street, they have planters blocking off the tables from the sidewalk, and it's impinging pretty deeply onto the sidewalk, creating a pretty narrow sidewalk there. Can you talk to that, please, Mr. Kelly?
I didn't know they had planters out there, but I will have them remove it. I know the side street is not very wide.
So you're saying you will have them removed?
Yes, absolutely.
Robin, I'll put that in as a stipulation.
Thank you.
Okay, yep. Let's recognize Marco.
Thank you. I would like to put a motion and then to speak. The motion is to approve with the stipulations. Okay, so the only concern that I have is the problem is I didn't review the drawings, but Lexington Avenue is very narrow. Well, they consider a wide street, even though that is narrow, that street. And I'm concerned with the number of chairs, and I'm concerned with in the way that it's organized. Apparently, it works. I don't know, but I'm concerned with that. I will review later, and probably right now I recommend the approval, but later probably I'm going to go back. If I consider that everything is okay, and the full board, I will change probably my vote. But so far, I will support. Thank you.
Okay, so this is a roadway cafe application.
Yes, that is correct. No sidewalk cafe.
No.
Oh, okay.
Not
Because
this,
it's just
not
only
tonight.
no,
But
no,
you do
no
operate
here.
a sidewalk cafe. There is a sidewalk cafe in operation right now there.
Really?
I mean,
Yes,
if you
you'll
look
be
at the
getting that
pictures,
application.
So we have to put on a
yeah.
stipulation. We have to put on a stipulation that there's no part of this application, the sidewalk. So he will come back for that part.
Yes.
Okay, that's what he say yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, I'll add that stipulation in. So Marco, your
Is to
motion
approve
is
with
to
the
approve.
stipulation.
Okay. These. Okay, thank you. Okay. Is there anyone from the board that would like to make? Let's recognize Bill.
Yeah, second one.
Okay, seconding, very good. And someone would call the question. Looks like Todd. Great. If anyone is going to be voting no or abstaining on this one, please let me know. Otherwise, this will go down as a 5-0 approval. Thank you very much. All right. Let's now go to another restaurant that I might not say correctly. Les Bilboquet, New York.
You got it on the second one. Okay.
Yeah, I was raised in Kansas and I didn't do foreign languages, so thank you. Please tell us about your business.
I have problems with English. So this is La Bibliothèque between Park and Madison Avenue. There's going to be 2 roadway structures. One is 8 feet, 10 inches by 7 feet, 6 inches, originally filed with 6 tables and 12 seats. The other is 20 feet by 7 feet, 6 inches with 11 tables and 22 seats. At one point, there was a structure that extended from La Bibliothèque down to their other restaurant, Cafe Bibliothèque. I was speaking with Mr. Callos today, who sent in a letter opposing the application. We talked about the number of seats and tables, although we didn't come to an agreement. In good faith, we're going to drop the seating in the small cafe down to 4 tables and 6, and the larger one to 4 tables and 16 seats, and in the smaller one, 2 tables and 8 seats. So we have 152 seats inside with 3 bathrooms. There was other problems that were brought up. One that we'd like to address is the structures won't be used for storage. The area in between the structures won't be used for storage. And there's also a transformer vault there. And I think the condo across the street, the biggest complaint were rats. We did try to clean every day. On the COVID, you didn't need an exterminator outside. Now you do. So we'd have an exterminator at least once a week. We would be cleaning every day. And what Mr. Callos was telling me, there is a rat problem on the street. There are a couple other restaurants. And the last thing we want is rats running across our roadway cafe. So we will do our best to keep that clean.
Okay, so Mr. Kelly, will you just give me then the total that I have is 17 tables and 34 chairs, and I think that sounds like you've come to a lower number. What's that total number for the Roadway Cafe?
So a total will be 6 tables and 24 seats.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone from the public that has questions or comments? Let's recognize Mr. Kalos.
Thank you to Chair Cormack and members of the Distinguished Committee for your service on Community Board 8, especially those of you who've been serving since I was on Community Board 8. I also want to thank Michael Kelly as a fellow member of the bar. He's been incredibly responsive, and I was very hopeful that I wouldn't be here tonight and that we would just have an agreement. I'm here on behalf of 520 Park Avenue Condominium. I'm also joined by Bob Diamond, who has raised his hand to go next. He is the president of the board at 520 Condominium. We've been trying to avoid getting to this point since 2023. I am prepared to go through a litany of monthly meetings and attempts. We've worked with the elected officials. We've worked with the bid and everything we can to try to get Philippe Delgrange, the owner and operator of this and Cafe Bilboquet, to be responsive to neighborhood concerns, to take care of his shed, to listen to DOT's numerous violations against him. He is one of the very few sheds in the city of New York that had an order for Department of Sanitation to come and tear down the shed for non-compliance. And so we want businesses to be successful. And we had hoped that we would come here with a resolution today. But at this point, we're here opposing because if you have a business that during the temporary outdoor dining program flouted the law, ignored DOT, ended up with a demolition permit filed against them, we don't believe that they are meritorious of a roadway dining shed. That being said, I believe we still support a sidewalk cafe, and for them to build a record and show that they can properly maintain it and then come back once they have. There's also a lot going on 60th Street. We have congestion pricing. We have it being a truck route, and we have a super tall going up across the street. So I think even if they get this permit, DOT and DOB are still going to take it away anyway to facilitate the construction that's going to be happening for the next 5 years. Happy to answer any questions, go into any detail. Also happy to turn it over to Bob Diamond, but I'll turn it back to the chair.
Yes, thank you. I don't see another person with their hand raised.
It would be, they are Atlas Merchant Capital.
John, if you see this.
Yeah, I think they just unmuted me. Does that help?
Okay, great. Yes, I can see and hear you now. Please let us know your questions or comments.
Thank you. I couldn't figure out how to get my hand up. Thank you very much. You know, Michael Kelly mentioned good faith. I have to start out by saying that for 2 years, we tried to have a meeting with Bill Bouquet, and Michael and the rest of the restaurant were unwilling to meet. I have the full support of the residents of 520 Park Avenue, which is right across the street from both the cafe and the restaurant, that we cannot have another street shed. I have many, many pictures, plenty of pictures. In both cases, they exceeded the allotted space that they were given. At the cafe, it was well beyond scope. They refused to take it down. It was used for storage of tables and chairs all day long. So ugly. The other part was people with cups of Starbucks coffee and cigarettes because there was no business coming out from the cafe, and yet it was huge. At the restaurant, it was the source of most of the rats below their spot. It was dirty. There was a cash register table out there. So they were using extra space for cash registers and for storage of dishes. Again, I have pictures of this that I took over the course of a year before we could get a meeting. Michael and his team committed to us that this wasn't going to happen again, and they were going to work with us if they were going to do something. And what we told them at the time is we love the restaurant and the cafe. We would be very supportive. Their other restaurant, Fleming's on 62nd Street, only has the sidewalk. It's beautiful on the sidewalk, and we'd love to have them and support a sidewalk cafe here. Ben mentioned other issues with the building on the street and congestion in trucks. But I think in this case, I just think that these were so dirty, so rat infested, so difficult. It was no good faith in terms of dealing with the residents on the street. And I'm the former CEO of a bank. I'm all pro business and I want business in the city. But in this case, it was very harmful to the street.
And I think just a point of clarification, I believe Michael Kelly is representing them just on this
Sorry, who is the
application.
gentleman there, Ben? I apologize. Who is the gentleman that met with us? There was the owner and one other man, and I do forget his name.
That's correct. So we were unable to get through to Delgrange. We eventually tracked down his landlord, who forced him to a meeting. At that meeting, he verbally agreed that he wouldn't apply for a roadway cafe at Cafe Bill Bouquet, and as a result, the building, Bob, everyone kind of stood down and said, let's give them a chance. And then when we reached out to Michael Kelly about this application, assuming that everything we were asking for was basically follow the law and agree to the thing you already said, we found out that the intention was not to keep his word. So he was there previously. There was somebody, I believe, named Dolly, who had no authority, and the bid couldn't get anything out of Delgrange or his team. And here we are today.
We tried very, very hard over 2 years. Unbelievably hard.
Mr. Kelly, do you have anything that you want to say in response or any sort of answers that you have for any of these concerns?
Okay, I'll start off with we will comply with all the rules and regulations of the DOT. When I was talking about the good faith, I was talking with Mr. Callos before about lowering the number of tables and chairs. Not any good faith between Mr. Delgrange and any negotiations that I wasn't a part of, which Benjamin brought up. Thank you. But I'd like to remind the board that there's a revocable consent that's given by the DOT, which can be revoked. So if the owners don't act and comply with the DOT regulations, they can lose whatever structures they built and invested money in. They brought up about the blockade not following the rules before. I can basically say they are correct. They extended their cafe way farther than they should have from one restaurant to the other. That's why the city obviously took it down. At this point, with the revocable consent, he'll have no way of not complying because whatever he builds can be taken down by the DOT.
Okay, thank you. Let's recognize Marco.
Thank you. I would like to put a motion and then to speak. The motion is to disapprove as presented.
Would anyone like to second that motion?
Sorry, I didn't hear what was the motion?
It's a motion.
To disapprove.
To not approve.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I think given what I said, if I understand the motion, I would second that.
No, no, you cannot do that.
Thank you. It's only the board that can second this.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. Is there anyone on the board that would like to second this so that Marco can speak to it? It looks like Todd says yes. Marco, it's here.
Okay, thank you. I think they raise several issues that we have to be concerned for all applicants, the cleanliness, the obey the law. And the argument, one of the arguments is said is the revocable consent. So far, I didn't see anything from DOT to enforce that part. It's true what he described, but I didn't see nothing that they do that. And so I think my recommendation, that's what I'm going to disapprove, is because I think we have to give some period of time, especially now the congestion pricing is exactly starting in 60th Street. So the idea is at this time is to let it pass and let the two parties reach an agreement between the business and the neighbors. And when they have an agreement, come back and then we will approve. If they reach an agreement for recommendation to approve. If not, well, I will maintain my decision to disapprove this application. Thank you.
Thank you. And let's recognize Judy Schneider. Judy, welcome.
Well, I'm sorry I was so late, but I had two other Zooms before this one. I just have a question. The address of this restaurant is 20 East 60th Street. Is that correct?
Yes.
Isn't that between 5th and Madison?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Because the other gentleman was Mr. Kalos was representing Park Avenue building, I believe. So that's a block away from where this restaurant is. Is that correct?
No, it's across, I believe they're across the street from us. It's Park in Madison.
Oh, it's Park in Madison. I thought it was between 5th and Madison, but you're saying it's between Park and Madison.
Yeah.
Okay, I had the location of the restaurant wrong. Sorry about that.
No worries. Okay, we have a motion to disapprove. Would anyone like to call the question on this motion? Bill?
Yes, call the question.
Okay, so this is going to be a motion to disapprove. I see that Barbara Rudder is here, but Barbara, will you be abstaining on this one? Okay, if anyone else...
I heard enough that I think I certainly agree with what Marco said.
Okay.
If you want me to, whatever you think, I would certainly, yeah.
Okay, that's great. So this is a motion to disapprove. If anyone is not going to disapprove or is going to abstain, please let me know. Robin?
I'm voting against the motion.
Okay. All right. So this motion to approve it or to disapprove. Oh, Judy.
I think I'm going to abstain on this one.
Okay. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, a 4, 1, 1 to disapprove. Thank you. Next, let's hear from host 1373, doing business as Sefton. Is there a representative from Sefton here?
Lindsay, sorry, there's 7 members here actually.
Sorry, so my yeses are Bill, Lindsay, Marco, Todd Stein, Barbara Rudder. Excuse me, you're right. Thank you. Thank you. So it's a 5-1-1. Thank you. Let's go ahead and is there a representative from Sefton here? Let's go ahead and maybe pause on this one and move on to the next one. Is there a representative from Miss Corsbro doing business as Jackson Hole here? I see Dimitri. John, if we can unmute Dimitri.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hey everybody.
Hi, please tell us a little bit about your application.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Mascura's Bros Inc. doing business as Jackson Hole Burgers. We're located on 64th Street between 2nd and 3rd Avenue. We've been there for 50 years. We built an outside roadway cafe. We never had any issues or problems with anyone in the community. Um, it was a really nice cafe too, and I was sad to take it down. So we're reapplying to put another one back up, but it's going to be very, very basic. It's not going to be a structure. It's going to be very minimal, whatever. Surrounding is no cover, no floor. Um, just as basic. I'm going to put 4 tables outside if I can fit them. I'm hoping to fit 4 tables. If not, it's going to be 3, and it's going to be 4 seats per table, so 16 at the most.
Thank you very much. Is anyone from the public that has questions or comments for this applicant? Seeing none, let's go to the board. Marco.
Thank you. I would like to put a motion then to speak. The motion is to approve as presented.
Okay. Looks like Barbara's going to second it.
Okay, I think definitely this is this business has been for a while, and not only that, they removed from the First Avenue, Second Avenue, and I missing that restaurant. I think that was wrong. That was a very good restaurant. It is completely it's a business person that doesn't go in the direction of actually to sell liquor or anything like that. And I think this is a proof that when the business that's good for the neighborhood, we appreciate that. And thank you.
Thank you.
Let's recognize Judy.
Yeah, they've been here for a very long time, as long as I've been here. And they are very good for the neighborhood. And also right behind them, a little further down, is Manhattan Ioneer. And part of that block in the same lane where the cafe is going to be is usually blocked off for people coming and going from the hospitals, senior citizen vans pulling up, taking people for surgery, ambulances, whatever. So it really doesn't interfere with the running of the street, putting an outdoor cafe there.
Thank you. So we have a motion to approve. Would anyone like to call the question on this motion? I see Robin will do this. Okay, great. So we've got a motion to approve. If anyone's going to be voting no or abstaining, please let me know. Otherwise, this will go down as a 7-0 approval with applause from Barry Schneider.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. John, were you able to see, is there a representative from Sefton here? Yes, there is. Okay, let's go back up to that application then.
Hi, Lindsay. This is Patrick
Yes, we
Clement
can hear
here
you.
for Sefton. So this is a roadside cafe application. We did apply for a sidewalk cafe, but currently the Department of Transport hasn't finalized that. So it will be a roadside cafe with 5 tables and chairs. It's probably about 14 feet. It's a lot smaller than our temporary roadside cafe that we had during COVID. We do agree with all the DOT rules for the dining out, and we have no 311 complaints.
Okay. Is there anyone from the public that has questions or comments on this application? Seeing none, let's go to Marco. Oh, actually, Marco, let's hold for a minute.
Yes,
I
please.
do see now Rob, let's recognize Rob Feiner.
Thank you very much. I have a question regarding this roadside shed. Um, Overall, I have no problems with the outdoor dining. However, this section of 74th Street and First Avenue it has a slight decline, and there has been two times, I think in 21 and 22, where a car rammed into the shed that was um, on that corner on the it would be the southwest corner of 74th Street. So my concern is because of First Avenue is going north and there's a slight decline there, that there's a potential hazard for a shed there unless there is some serious obstacles that could prevent uh, accidents in this area. And again, like I said, there's been two incidents since the shed went up that a car has rammed through the shed. Unfortunately, nobody was in there at the time, in either time.
Thank you. Patrick, do you have response or comments related to
Yeah.
this?
So the first one, it was at 4 in the morning. It was a drunk driver who crashed into it. And the second time, it was about maybe 6 p.m. The driver of the vehicle, when the police came, the driver and the passenger, um, they swapped positions. So they told the police that the female was driving. That wasn't the case. Um, but as I say, you know, it was completely outside of our control. I'm just putting it down to, we were unlucky, and fortunately, there was no one injured in both incidences.
Has the setup changed in terms of like where it starts, where it ends, or if there is any sort of like blockade?
There's not a blockade. We did ask the NYPD for a Jersey barrier after the second time that it got hit, but they told us that they couldn't provide one. Um, the structure that we are going to be building is a lot smaller because of the parking space. It's a floating parking space, and there is a buffer zone, and the space is shared between our premises and the neighboring building. So we only have partial use of it. The neighboring building is a liquor license. They are not going to be putting an outdoor cafe application through.
Okay, thank you. Let's recognize Marco.
Thank you. I would like to put a motion and then to speak. And the motion is to approve.
Okay, would anyone like to second? Looks like Judy seconded. Let's hear it.
Okay, definitely is a very big issue, the safety. But the problem is who regulate that one is DOT. And my advice for the owner, you should start thinking carefully that to design to tolerate lateral loads, like in this case, because you never know. And remember, somebody came already publicly saying to you, and you're supposed to take more actions, more than is required, because you become liable in the future. And my advice is be very careful in your design, especially you have two events, it's awful events. Um, and I think my strongly advice is you should hire a professional engineer that help you to have a stronger structure and compliant with the DOT regulations, because you cannot put anything or you cannot anchor to the floor is not permissible. But my recommendation is try to do something better in this case. Thank you.
Patrick, if you'd like to respond to that, I'll then go to
Yeah,
the board.
so we will
Okay.
be, the new structure will be in compliant with the DOT guidelines under structures. We're looking to do something with a lightweight aluminium frame with water barriers. But yes, we do take on board what Marco has said.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion to approve. Is there anyone of the board who would like to call a question? I see Judy Schneider. All right. So the motion to approve is what we're looking at. If anyone's going to be voting no or abstaining, please let me know. Otherwise, this is going to go down as a 7-0 approval. All right. Thank you very much. Let's now move on to the next applicant, which is Eastside Barking Dog, doing business as the Barking Dog. Do we have a representative?
Yes, Michael Kelly.
Hi again. It's too bad that we can't bundle all your things together. I'm sorry we haven't figured that
All right.
system out.
Gives me time to recover.
Yeah, great. Good.
So we will comply with all the rules and regulations of the DOT. So this is a roadway and a sidewalk cafe application. We're located at 1678 3rd Avenue at the corner of 94th Street. Barking Dogs, a neighborhood staple for over 16 years. The current owners have been operating it for 8. The roadway is on 94th Street, 20 feet from the crosswalk, because we have approaching traffic. We would have 18 tables and 36 seats in an 8 by 40-foot structure. It was much bigger before. It was a lot longer. We used the backyard. We were able to use our backyard and come up to the crosswalk about 8 feet away from it. We have a diner type menu. There's 62 seats and 2 bathrooms inside. Our hours of operation are 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. The cafe, both of them will close at 10 o'clock. The sidewalk cafe will be 4 tables and 8 seats. We did lose 2 tables and two tables and 2 tables and 4 seats because we're in a regional zone now and had to leave the 10-foot clearance. We'll be using 4 feet of a 14-foot 6-inch sidewalk, leaving the 10 feet. And I just want to add my dog loved eating in their sidewalk cafe.
Hey, thank you very much. Is there anyone from the public that has questions or comments on this applicant? Seeing none, let's go to Marco.
Thank you. Mr. Kelly, I hear what you said in last application. Are you willing to put a stipulation with all regulations that you said for the La Bibliothèque?
All the regulations of La
That you
Bibliothèque.
recommended and we deny.
Meaning the cleaning?
Cleaning, organize, because I'm gonna check very carefully. I'm gonna write down especially everything that you said. But that's the way that we had to put in a stipulation for all applicants, because this is a good way to do business. It's nothing wrong. We don't ask anything more. What we like to see is that you operate properly in an excellent condition and you profit. And we support this kind of business. Are you willing to do that, to put all the stipulations?
Always willing to keep a roadside or a sidewalk clean and the sidewalks clean, because I think the last thing a business owner wants is rats running around their cafes
Right.
when people are eating. So
Yeah.
it would be in their best interest to do that.
Okay. Well, I will
So,
support
can
this.
you enumerate will you tell me what those stipulations are that you'd like to see in this one?
Thank you. Are you
No,
saying
Marco,
to
I'm
me?
asking. Well, yeah, will you tell me what the stipulations are that you're asking for here so I can write
No,
them?
same stipulation that he offered for La Bibliothèque. And I would like to know if he's binding to the same regulations, because I'm gonna review it. I didn't write down everything, but I'm asking Mr. Kelly if he is willing to bind all the recommendations that you said in La Bibliothèque. And I'm sorry that I disapprove, but I think it's all the stipulations are great.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't use the structure for storage. We have no problem stipulating to that. We have no problem stipulating to cleaning it every day and Of course, lifting the floor up and washing it at least once a week, which is by law. The only thing we can't stipulate to is storing things between the structure because there aren't two structures.
Okay, so I will support this application. I cannot put a motion right now. Thank you.
Okay. I do have a question that came in from another board member who's not here, which maybe is obviated by looking at the Roadway Cafe. But the question was, is the Roadway Cafe going to be on the street side or the avenue side? I'm trying to pull up the
Street
application right
side,
now.
94th Street.
Okay, this board member was raising concerns that the Department of Transportation was doing a lot of construction work on 3rd Avenue or on 94th. Is that anything that you are aware of or?
I am not aware of it.
Okay, I wasn't made aware of it either, other than this email, but we've had a discussion, so that feels fine for me. Let's recognize Judy.
To approve.
Motion to approve with a Barbara Rudder second. Very fine. And Robin's calling the question. All right, so this is a motion to approve. If anyone is going to be voting no or abstaining, please let me know. Otherwise, this is going to go down as a 7-0 approval. Okay, great. That's how it's going to be. Thank you very much. Let's now go to IHMS, doing business as Purine. Do we have a representative from this business here?
Yes, I'm the architect representing Pierre Hotel in Purine. I also have with me Thomas Trudeau and Antonio Cookie, who is a part of the Pierre Hotel management.
Okay, great. Will you tell us a little bit about your Roadway Cafe application?
Yes. So Purine Hotel, for all that you don't know, is on the corner of 5th Avenue and 61st Street, and it's on 61st Street. And it's also the same area where you drop off and pick up for the hotel, for guests. The good news is the Pierre Hotel, in terms of, I've been listening to all your presentations up to now, and it's really a very gracious hotel, and I can get into all the bathrooms and toilets it has. But it's the whole business is keeping things clean and presentable and attracting guests into the hotel. So we are doing 6 chairs and 3 tables. Not a big stretch. We've gone through the DOT and the FDNY, and this is what they've allowed us to do is the 3 tables and 6 chairs on a roadway permit. Now, I also, for full compliance and full exposure, we just got we got a green light to go to the next step on a sidewalk application, which is along the edge of the building, which is in my drawings, which is just a single row of doubles of 16 people. So we have the 6 on the curb, which is here tonight for your approval. And regarding—
So if I may, you would agree to the stipulation that you'll come back for the sidewalk cafe.
Do I have to?
I mean, you can say you don't agree to come back, and then I think it risks getting a no on the roadway.
No, then absolutely I'm coming back.
Sounds good.
That's easy. That's the easiest.
Just because everyone hasn't had a full time.
Yeah. So I guess with this email we got from the sidewalk, it's from Matthew Choi. This email from the portal means that the application has been initially reviewed and has been deemed ready to send to the board and city council for approval. So then would I come back to see you after that?
You would come back to see us in the May meeting just for the sidewalk cafe component.
Okay.
And I think, say to John right now, we might be able to make this applicant one of the first in the list, so that meeting is shorter for you.
Great.
Provided that we've got notice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And the operating hours are the same as the restaurant, which is on our application, 7 to 12.
The
And the
sidewalk
outdoor
cafe
closed
was approved before COVID. So we always had a sidewalk cafe there. And then obviously with COVID and everything else, we moved into the additional spaces that are out there. But that sidewalk cafe was pre-approved and was always there.
Yeah. So tonight we're gonna ask for, I guess, your approval of the roadway cafe, which again is the 3 tables and 6 chairs. And the frontage of the 3 sets of French doors that feed that is 38 feet, almost 39 feet. And the cafe itself is 20 feet long.
Thank you. I also will note that I appreciate the detail of the renderings that you've had here. It makes it easier for us to assess things. Anyone from the public that has questions or comments for this applicant?
Appreciate that, by the way.
Seeing none, let's go to Marco.
Thank you. I would like to put a motion and then to speak. And the motion will be approved as presented.
All right. Looks like Judy's seconding that.
Thank you all.
Okay, so the point is we have to be very clear. You are asking for 3 chairs. I'm sorry, 3 tables and 6 chairs. Is that correct?
Yes, I'd
Okay.
love to put more in, but I can't. It's the FDNY has reduced me to this envelope.
That's what we like to have, always few chairs and a few tables. But again, with this I wanna recommend the approval with the stipulation that you are coming back for the sidewalk cafe. The sidewalk cafe, yes, if you have it, that's fine, but you have to come back because we need to make an assessment at that time. I think this is a landmark building.
Yes.
Yeah, so basically, probably you gotta go to the landmark committee to present that part.
Yes.
We've already done that and have approval.
Yeah.
I don't recall that. I'm in the committee, but again, please follow the instructions. I don't want to say anything. Probably you're right, but I don't recall that. But again, don't worry about that. We are not discussing about nothing about the sidewalk cafe. We are discussing just only the roadway cafe, and that's the approval. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much.
Let's recognize Barbara Rudder.
Okay.
Just for my clarification, why does he have to come back if there's already diagrams and everything? Is there any reason why you have to come back?
Well, Barbara, we didn't get any of that because that wasn't approved until today. So John hasn't seen it. No one else on the board has seen it. And so I think as a matter of protocol, it doesn't make sense to say, well, I have this email that came in today. So it's just going to be, we'll come back and we'll have them early on the agenda. So this isn't so long for them next time.
Okay, thanks.
Judy?
What was the question?
All right. So this is a motion to approve. Looks like Robin is seconding Judy. Or Robin, did you have another question? No, she's fine. Okay. So this is a motion to approve. If anyone is going to be voting no or abstaining, please let me know. Otherwise, this is going to go down as a 7-0 approval. All right. Thank you. It's a 7-0 approval, and we will see you next month. Or actually, it's in like 2 weeks because this is a strange off-cycle meeting for us for the Sidewalk Cafe. Let's now go to, we already did Nightly's. Is that right, John? We did
That's
Nightly's
correct,
earlier.
yes.
Yeah, okay, right. Okay, thank you. So let's go to Paolo's Cafe. Is there a representative from Paolo's Asteria here? If you are from Paolo's and you're here, please make yourself known to John so that he can unmute you.
I'm sorry.
Oh, hi again. Hello.
Okay, so this is a sidewalk cafe application for Paula's, 1264 Madison Avenue, East 89th, East 90th. Full service Italian restaurant open for 5 years. It's an offshoot of Paula's that used to be on 92nd and Madison from 2009 to 2020. The CBA just recently approved their roadway. Our indoor hours are 12 to 10 Monday through Thursday, 11 to 10 Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The sidewalk cafe will operate the same hours. There's 3 tables and 6 seats. Even though it's a regional corridor where you need a 10-foot clearance, we came under the exemption because we were in a former small unenclosed sidewalk cafe area, which means we only have to leave the 8 feet. And we're going to have 3 tables and 6 seats. And we will comply with all the rules and regulations of the DOT.
Wonderful, thank you. Is there anyone from the public that has questions for this applicant? Seeing none, let's go to Marco.
I would like to put a motion. The motion is to approve and then to speak.
All right, looks like you've got some seconds.
Okay. Again, Mr. Kelly, please don't allow me to speak anymore. Just say that you're going to approve what you recommend for the bibliothèque. All the regulations exactly the same. I didn't do for the other applicants, but I'm planning to do for the future for all of them. So, but I need to discuss with the committee exactly how we're going to proceed with these kind of regulations. I think was excellent, that idea. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so
We'll
the
keep the
stipulation,
sidewalk clean.
yeah, the
And the
stipulation
tables
that
and
I'm
chairs
getting
will
is
come
that
in at
you're,
night. I'm sorry.
that's right, cleaning every day and not storing things in the structure.
And no rats, please.
Oh, that's a hard one, but sure. Um, okay, we have a motion. Is there anyone who would like to call the question? I see Judy's calling the question. Okay, great, as is Barbara. So this is a motion to approve. If anyone is going to be voting no or abstaining, please let me know. Otherwise, this is going to go down as a 7-0 approval. All right, that's what this looks like. Let's now
constituent.
move on.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead, John.
Constituent raised their hand also. I just noticed that now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't see them on page one. Can you tell me who this is?
Cynthia.
Cynthia, I'm sorry. In the future, if you use the like raise hand icon, it'll pop you up to the front of my page because you're on page 2 for me, so I don't see you until that happens. Cynthia, let us know what you want to let us know about.
Hi, I'm sorry. I don't see the react button said to ring the chime. It didn't work. So there wasn't a raise hand function for me here. Hi, I live above Paula's and I'm not opposed to them having a sidewalk cafe at all. But the one thing I do have a problem with is that very often, at least during when they had the roadside and the sidewalk, they were not even leaving 6 feet across. So while I know they said they only have 3 two-seater tables, which is what they've had lately, I do get worried and concerned that during the busy days when it's gorgeous, they do double up those tables occasionally, and it does create sort of a blockage area, and it's not keeping the sidewalk clear. Which as the neighbor right upstairs adds a lot to the noise issues. Most of when they had roadside, it was a very big problem. There were rats and all sorts of issues, but being that this is just the sidewalk, I'm not opposed to it. I just want people to understand the rules and follow the rules.
Thank you for bringing that up. Michael, Mr. Kelly, can you please communicate to the applicant that there's not meant to be a doubling up or any sort of additional tables and chairs, that this application will be for 3 tables and 4 chairs?
Yes, I will.
Thank you. All right, let's go on. Oh, Judy, I see, or Marco. I don't know what's happening here. I see Judy's hand and I hear Marco. Let's recognize Judy and then Marco.
I'm sorry. Sometimes my hand raise button doesn't work. So, I lost my thought. Go to Marco.
Okay, Marco.
Thank you, Judy. Please, always you coming back at any time. We shouldn't start talking about this application because we already make a decision, but we can talk at the end. Thank you. But I would like to raise the issue of the revocable consent. The revocable consent, basically, it should be revocable. The revocable consent enforced right away at the time when they do not have 8 feet wide. So, but that's the problem with the revocable consent. Nobody they say it and nobody obey. And that's basically we had to figure it out in the future. Thank you.
And Cynthia, I see that you're still with us. We are going to move on from this because we've already taken the action on it. But if you do have complaints or if you see something that's amiss, please reach out to the board office and we'll have record that you said it here tonight and we'll be able to act on it faster. Thank you. Judy. Thought is back.
In our resolution, can we put something about that the client agrees not to put out at any time a second row of tables?
Well, I think it might make more sense for us to make like a new motion on that, and then we all vote on that. Would you like to say that
However you want to handle it is fine.
Okay. So that feels fine for me. Would anyone like to second Judy's motion to add a stipulation that no tables looks like Marco, Robin, and Barbara? Okay. So let's go ahead and call the question on this, which would be same application as before, but an additional stipulation that says no tables beyond the 3 tables and 4 chairs will be put out. Okay. If anyone is going to vote no or abstain, please let me know. Otherwise, this is going to stay as a 7-0 with that additional stipulation. All right. Thank you, everyone. Let's now go to Sandroni Inc. doing business as Sandros. Is there a representative from Sandros here?
Hey, good evening. How you doing?
Pretty good. Tell us a little bit about your application.
Hey, so yep, we're Sandro's Restaurant. We've been on the Upper East Side for approximately 40 years now. We've been at our current location since 2022. We used to have a roadway cafe. We decided to not do the roadway cafe, and we're only going to do a sidewalk cafe. It's going to be 4 tables with 8 seats, so 4 two tops.
Okay, so I just want to double check because I'm seeing a different number, but you're telling me it's going to be 4 tables and how many chairs?
8.
Okay, I see it as 3 tables and 4 chairs. So let me just update that here. So it's 4 tables and 8 chairs. Okay. And then is this, you had something in operation during COVID or no?
We did have something. So during COVID, we ended up moving locations, and then we inherited a roadway cafe. But we're not going to do the roadway cafe. We're just keeping the sidewalk.
Okay, simply for the sidewalk. Thank you very much. And you know what? I see in the drawing this like 4 and 8 setup. I just have in our application as the first one incorrectly. So that was my
Yeah,
mistake.
no, not a problem. I'm actually looking at the application too. It does say, I believe it says 4 and 8.
Yeah, this is on our agenda that got sent to me. So that's just an error on
Okay.
our side. Is there
Understood.
anyone from the public that has questions or comments for this applicant? Seeing none, let's go to Marco.
I would like to put a motion. The motion is to approve as presented. Thank you.
Would anyone like, looks like Judy's seconding it. All right, and would anyone like to call the question on this? Barbara's calling the question. Wonderful. So this is a motion to approve. If you're going to be voting no or abstaining, please let me know. Otherwise, this is going to go down as a 7-0. All right, that's what this looks like. Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you guys for everything as always. Have a good one.
Have a good one. Let's now move on to Shirt Restaurant doing business as Island. Is there a representative? Here. Yes, Chris.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good. Please tell us about your application.
My name is Chris McLaughlin, representing Shirt Restaurant Corporation, also known as Island Restaurant. We're a family-owned business. We've been on this location for 38 years now at 1305 Madison Avenue. Our hours of operation are roughly 11 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. We had a previous structure here for about 3.5 years, and there were never any complaints about it. People were quite sad when we took it down. We are looking forward to building a new one if approved, and we'll agree to comply with all of the rules outlined by the Department of Transportation. We've posted notices around the neighborhood, and this application is both for our roadway and our sidewalk. We've had a sidewalk license to operate for more than the past 30 years. That's for 2 tables with 8 seats. And in the road, we'd like to put 5 tables with 14 seats.
Okay, thank you. And I'm glad you said the numbers because those do square away with what I have here.
Great.
Is there anyone from the public that has questions or comments for this application? Seeing none, let's go to Marco.
Thank you so much. I would like to put a motion, and the motion is to approve as presented. Thank you.
You've got some seconds. And then I'm going to interpret the continual hand raise as someone calling the question. Great, Barbara. Very good. So this is a motion to approve. If anyone would like to disapprove or abstain, please let me know. Otherwise, this is going to go down as a 7-0 approval. All right, great.
Thank you guys
Thank
for your
you.
service. Have a good night.
Thank you. Good night. Next, let's move to Mezzaluna. Is there a representative from Mezzaluna here?
Yes, I'm right here. Hello.
We can hear you.
Very well, thank you. So yeah, I'm the man Roberto Manfè, the manager here at Mezzaluna, and we are applying for the roadway cafe because for the sidewalk. Apparently, we have another meeting on the 20th of May. So yeah, Mezzaluna has been in business for 41 years now. There's no complaint from the neighborhood. Everything seems to be in order, and that's it. We never had any complaints that I know about. I've been here managing for 6 years now, so I never heard any problem with the restaurant.
And you'd agree to obey all of the rules and regulations by the Department
Absolutely.
of Transportation.
I do absolutely, yes.
And it's also notable that you all have had to operate under like terrible construction for a very long
Yes.
time.
Yes,
Yeah.
I apply for now. I don't know if you guys approve it. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to do it because they were supposed to be done now in spring, but apparently it's gonna be at the end of the summer. So, but I know it's the permit is for 2 years, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So I like to play ahead and be ready for when we're gonna have the roadway free.
Yep. Is there anyone from the public that has questions or comments for this applicant? Seeing none, let's go to Marco.
Thank you. I would like to put a motion. The motion is to approve as presented. Thank you.
I see a from Judy, and Barbara might be waving to call the question. Very fine. This is a motion to approve. If you're going to be voting no or abstaining, please let me know. Otherwise, this is going to go down as a 7-0 approval. All right. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you. Can I leave the meeting or should I stay on?
Yeah, you're welcome to leave.
I'm going to work there. They're waiting for me. Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Let's now go to our next applicant, which is CQ8J LLC, doing business as Avoca. Is there a representative from Avoca here?
Yes, good evening, everyone. Daniel Grace here for Avoca. This is an application for a roadway cafe. We're going to have 9 tables, 18 seats. We'll comply with all DOT regulations. There's been no complaints. There was a roadway cafe in place during COVID, which went very well. And the applicants are looking to put something similar, a little smaller due to the new regulations. The hours of operation will be Monday to Thursday, 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. and Friday to Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone from the public that has questions for this applicant? Seeing none, let's go to Marco.
Thank you. I would like to put a motion and then to speak. The motion is to approve as presented.
You've got seconds.
Okay, so I have a question. Are you planning to obey the regulations to control rats, cleanliness, all this kind of stuff?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Are you also we can put as the stipulation, is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, great. Let's recognize Judy.
The question?
Great, thank you. This is a motion to approve. If you're going to be voting no or abstaining, please let me know. Otherwise, this is going to go down as a 7-0 approval. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Good night. Let's now go on to Meconian House, doing business as Meconian House, and apologies if I didn't say that correctly. Is there a representative here from that business? All right, Anthony, you should be getting a message to unmute in a minute, and you can tell us about your application. You're still muted, so you should see an invitation from John to unmute. There you are.
I apologize. Yeah, my name is Anthony Delamitros. I'm an expediter representing Meconian House, LLC, also known doing business as Meconian House. We are applying for a sidewalk cafe application. This is a Greek seafood restaurant that's been in business for over 2 years, located at 25 East 83rd Street between Fifth Avenue and Madison Ave. The business is owned and operated by Alina Boris and Gregory Politis, and their operating hours are Monday through Sunday, 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. The scope of work is to obtain a sidewalk cafe with 4 tables and 8 chairs. They currently have 57 seats inside and 8, so this would include 8 outdoor and 8 employees with 73 people. And they promise to adhere to the New York City Department of Transportation sidewalk cafe rules and regulations.
Are there any questions from the public on this application? I'd like to recognize Barry. Barry, you should be getting a prompt to unmute from John in a minute. When you see that, you can click it. Not Barry Schneider, the other Barry.
Yeah, the application is for 4 tables and 8 chairs. There's considerably more tables and more chairs there right now. And the application is for the tables to extend no more than 2 feet 10 inches from the wall. And currently there's a artificial carpet there that extends 5 feet from the wall. And there are frequently tables and chairs that extend even further than that. And there's a tree enclosure, so that when you figure in the service aisle, in addition to the 5 feet where the tables are, it only leaves 3 feet of clearance, whereas 8 feet are required.
Thank you for those.
That's understood. I could relay that back to our client, to my client.
Okay, so at a minimum, there should be a stipulation. However, even the 2 feet 10 inches doesn't do it, because there needs to be a service aisle in addition to 2 feet 10 inches. And when they add the 3 feet to the 2 feet 10 inches, that only leaves 5 feet of clearance. So even the application doesn't meet requirements.
Anthony, I will say I'm inclined to agree. I went by this location just yesterday, and there is currently, and it's not in the pictures that are in this application, but there is a flooring that's not permitted under this program that's been put down outside. It's an AstroTurf. It also, under no way, can get to that 8 feet of clearance based on where that tree pit is, on where these sorts of tables are meant to be. I do have a question for you. In the past, this location has had umbrellas, and what the umbrellas have done is they've extended a canopy that's only at 6 feet of height into that 8 feet that's meant to be clear, so people can't really walk through it. Would you agree that there wouldn't be umbrellas in this new setup, provided that you get the permission?
Yes, yeah, if that's the case, then they wouldn't have any umbrellas at all.
Okay, so you'd have no umbrellas. You would be removing the flooring that is right now in violation of the program. Is that a stipulation you could agree to?
Yes.
Okay.
And the clearance?
Yeah, and then can you speak to this clearance question, which is how you can get 8 feet of sidewalk based on the location of the building and the end of the roadway?
But looking at the plan, the street bed on the first table to the right has the 8-foot clearance. The other areas have actually exceed the 8-foot clearance along the sidewalk.
Well, there's a service aisle required, and with the 2 feet 10 inches plus the 3 feet service aisle, it only leaves 5 feet, not 8 feet.
Then that would drop us down to 3 tables if that's the case. So that would be the third table to the right, and instead of having the 4th table that's closest to the step along the east side of the building, along the storefront.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case. And that's something that I have to discuss with my client, so he knows that they can't use that area if that's the case.
Yeah, it's really to the east of the front door of the restaurant that's the
Yeah,
problem.
the
The other.
staircase. Yeah, it's the staircase. It's the first table that would be next to the staircase.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you would agree to a stipulation to remove the table or to lower the table count.
Yes, to three, if we have
Okay.
to. Yep.
And the tables need to be put against the wall so that they only extend 2 feet 10 inches from the wall.
Yeah, that's part of the DOT regulations
Yes.
where that would be how it have to be set up. I don't know that it's currently set up that way. Let's recognize Marco.
Thank you. I think that made me feel a little bit uncomfortable when somebody draw and present it to us like it's in compliance. And that is very bad. And I think if we're gonna, because actually our job, it complicates everything. So thank you to Mr. Barry. He's coming and he knows very well. I will appreciate always the public help us to make the right decisions. And in this case, thanks to him, we can ask the right questions. Otherwise, if I'm reading the drawings, I assume that it's completely honest and it's not. And so I don't know. This is why always I try to go in the direction to us an stipulation to comply with DOT regulations. Because when we find that one and we don't have nobody from the community we can enforce with the stipulation. So I think I feel very uncomfortable even to recommend to approve this in this case, regardless if he is dropping one table and two chairs. And I think that's it. I don't want to continue speaking. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'll echo that. The pictures that are submitted now are not the pictures that are accurate to how this place actually looks, and that sort of disingenuous application makes it really hard to adjudicate it. Is there anyone else from the board that would like to make a motion or have an idea on how we move this along? Barbara.
I will have a motion to disapprove.
A motion to disapprove. All right. Would anyone second? Looks like Marco is going to second it. Before we get on calling the question, John, I just want to double check with you. Is Todd Stein no longer in this meeting?
That would be the case, yes.
Okay, that's my count as well. I just didn't want to go looking for it. Okay, so this is a motion to disapprove. Would someone like to call the question? Looks like Robin or Marco. Great. So this is a motion to disapprove. If anyone would like to be voting yes, or excuse me, if you're voting no or abstaining, please let me know. Otherwise, this will go down as a 5-0 because Judy is away right now and Todd is no longer with. All right. So that is going to go down as a 5-0.
My client is also on, I think she'd like to speak, Kalina.
Is there I don't see a hand raised, an icon.
Hello?
John just sent something. Hi.
Hello, good evening. You know what? We're really working hard and really fix it. I can make a promise. So, I'm asking to give us a chance. I gonna personally be there all the time, and I promise that we're gonna keep, our promise. It's not,
So
we're
here's
not
what I would
gonna.
say to you. Yeah, Alina, I think the best mode of action is what's going to happen is this is the committee meeting. It will go to the full board meeting. This committee meeting is not binding. It's a recommendation to the full board. That would be the best place for you or your representative to show up to sort of describe what's happened, what's changed. And I would also encourage you to rectify the things that are already in violation right now, because it's very hard for us to do this work. And it's even harder if we're getting bad information from the applicants to begin with. But
Yeah,
the best thing do is come to that May meeting, and then you'll have an opportunity to speak on behalf of your business there.
Yes, and I thank you for the chance. And some stuff I'm learning every day about the carpet, about this. I didn't know. I didn't do it purposely. And, and we were waiting for the decision, for the final decision. That's why Promise. I always follow the rules.
So then come back May 16th is that meeting. And if you go to the Community Board 8 website, just Google Community Board 8, you can see the location and either you or your representative can be there. And that's where the binding decision is made.
I understand. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so what the next step I should do? Just to put new
Come to that
application?
meeting. You should show up to that meeting. And then in the
Personally?
interim,
Or it's gonna be another
well,
Zoom meeting?
it is an in-person one. There is a Zoom option. In-person tends to go better.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you. Let's now move to this next applicant, which is another French one, Le Cru Glacé by No Glue. Is there a representative? Oh, I'm sorry. I think I froze there for a minute. Is there a representative from No Glue here?
Me again. Michael Kelly.
Hello, with all the French ones. Very good. Yep.
LaCroix. You got it right. So this is a roadside application for LaCroix, doing business as Glaced by No Glue. It used to formerly be No Glue. We're at 1266 Madison Avenue between East 890th and East 91st. There's a roadside cafe with 10 tables and 30 seats. It's 8 feet by 24 feet, 2 inches. They did have one out during COVID. Basically, in dessert ice cream space where it was just you'd walk in, pick it up, and leave. There's no seating inside, so this would be their seating. They do have one bathroom inside. There's no alcohol. There was a on-premise liquor license when No Glue ran it, but they gave that up. The hours of operation are 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. We have no known complaints, and the outdoors will have the same hours.
Okay, thank you. And to double check, this is 10 tables, 20 chairs. Is that right?
10 tables, 30 chairs. There's 5 4 tops and 5 2 tops.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anyone from the public that has questions for this applicant? Seeing none, let's go to Marco.
Can I say it? So you don't have to? We will comply with all the rules and regulations of the DOT. We will keep the area clean, wash it every day, and make sure there's no rats, and do anything we can to prevent the same. There'll be no storage within the roadway cafe.
Yeah, I would like to ask a question. You're gonna put 30 chairs outside. How many you have inside?
We have none inside. It's basically an ice cream.
So nothing inside.
Nothing inside. During the winter, during the winter, we're basically an ice cream dessert place. That's how we were during the summer. We have operated with the roadside during COVID.
Is this a restaurant or ice cream place?
Ice cream dessert.
Okay. So, and you don't have bathrooms inside?
We have one bathroom inside.
Only one?
Yes.
And you have basically, you're saying is 30 chairs?
Yes.
Well, well, I
And
cannot
it would be
comment.
30 in total.
Yeah, I understand that part. I understand that part. Well, usually the department, you said you have one bathroom, no?
Yes.
Okay, so the Department of Health, they ask for one bathroom. Okay, thank you.
Yes. Otherwise, we'd have to keep it to 19 seats.
Okay. Is there anyone else from the board that would like to make a motion or Bill?
A motion to approve as presented.
Great. And Barbara's seconding it. Would anyone like to call the question? Okay, I see a few for that. So this is a motion to approve. Sorry, I'm just copying all the stipulations over. If anyone's going to vote no or abstain, please let me know. Otherwise, this is going to go down as a 5-0 approval. All right. Actually, Judy's video is off. So Judy, I see your hand. Yeah. Can we unmute Judy?
No, I'm back now. I heard it and I'm voting yes.
Okay, so this will be a 6-0 approval. Thank you very
Yeah.
much. All right, let's now move on to Calderwood doing business as the Huntarian. Is there a representative from the Huntarian? Hi, will you tell us about your application?
Yeah, so we're applying for a roadway structure. We had one previously. This one's going to be a little bit smaller in both length and width, just over 17 feet in length and 6 feet 4 inches wide. We'll have 8 tables and 16 seats, and we will comply with all the rules and regulations of the DOT.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone from the public that has questions for this applicant? Is there anyone from the board that has questions or would like to make a motion on this matter? Robin?
Yes, I make a motion that we approve it.
Okay, would anyone like to second that? I see Barbara seconding it. Would anyone like to call the question? Looks like we've got the question called. Okay, so this is a motion to approve. And great. It'll be a 6-0 unless anyone wants to say no or abstain. We have 6 members in attendance right now. Judy, let's recognize Judy. Accidental hand. Okay. All right. So then this is going to go down as a 6-0 approval. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
All right. Let's move to this next applicant, which is Lexington Avenue Court doing business as Bella Blue. We heard from them earlier for a renewal of the liquor license, and this is now an application for a roadway cafe. Is there a representative here from Bella Blue?
Hi, this is Brad Robinson representing Bella Blue.
Hi, we can hear you. Please tell us about your roadway application.
Absolutely. So this is for a Bella Blue, which, as you heard earlier, which has been operating on Lexington Avenue for 30 years. This is for a roadway cafe that is 17 feet long by 8 feet wide. They had a previous cafe during COVID. This cafe will be smaller. It's for 9 tables with 18 seats, and they will abide by all the DOT program rules and guidelines, including cleanliness and pest control and not using it for storage.
All right, Marco, it looks like we got some stipulations in that we didn't even ask for. Is there anyone from the public that has questions for this applicant? Otherwise, let's go to Marco.
Thank you. I just seen your layout, and I mean, it's impossible to serve people like that. It doesn't look right. There is no enough space between the chairs. It fits, but doesn't tell me that it's gonna work. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Sure. So the DOT requested that example tables and chairs be set up out there, be shown on the site plan. We're working with the ownership to figure out what exactly the right table layout is, given their 2 tops versus 4 tops versus 6 tops. But there will be a service aisle, there will be ADA access, and the patrons will be as comfortable as possible in a small space.
But the chairs and the tables are almost one behind to the other one. No space for walking. If I want to go to any part that is toward to the street, there is no access unless you push people and then you go in the middle, all of that. That's I'm seeing your drawings.
Yeah, I think it's just a scale of the table question, not, the tables that are on there aren't necessarily the exact size tables that the owner will use. It was more just to be representative of the number of seats that we will work to achieve in there. How we achieve that with table sizes and spacing, obviously, we know we need to have the ability for not only patrons to access, but also wait staff to access. So it's smaller tables, smaller chairs than what's drawn here.
I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm still, I'm trying to read in your favor everything, but the number doesn't up because you have 2 by 2 tables, and then you have 1 feet and a half two because you need to move back and forth in order to take a seat. So if you have two, three, you have 16 feet. You have the only thing is 12 inches to divide for 2 spaces. So it doesn't add. The same in the other direction. I'm sorry, but it's very hard uh, to demonstrate that it's gonna work. And I don't think the DOT is going to allow to do that, by the way.
Okay. Well, obviously, we need to abide by all the program rules, and we need for access for people. So if it's fewer tables and fewer seats than that, then that's what we'll need to do.
Well,
Point taken.
Okay, I'm going to go for this approval in this case, and thank you so much.
Bradley, I have a question that I can't figure out from the drawing, which is where is the entrance to this roadway? Like, where do people get in?
Yeah. I think that's the similar question to what was being asked before. We know we're going to have to move tables around within here to make sure that there is not access not only for the people who are seating, but also for the servers, because we're well aware that the all service needs to happen from within the roadway cafe. So we know that we're going to need to adjust the actual operational seating plan in order to affect that. But there's room between the tree bed and the edge of the setup for access. We just need to adjust the tables to make sure that can be taken care of.
Okay, let's recognize Judy.
I don't know, maybe a substitute motion might be in order here. Rather than to vote it down, maybe we should table it, and maybe this fellow wants to come back next month and give us a better plan with an accurate number of tables and chairs that meets the rules and requirements. So I would put a motion
So
to.
Bradley, let me put that to you. The option would be when she says come back in a month, it's actually like in 2 weeks because that's when we meet next. But as these renderings are right now, I think what you're going to risk is getting a disapproval from the committee, then goes to the full board. But if you'd like, we could table it and then you can represent with a different amount of tables and chairs or a rendering that can more accurately reflect the choices that you plan to make. And to my mind, not knowing exactly how everyone's going to vote, I think that that might be your route to success. But it's up to you as to whether you'd agree to be tabled or if you'd like us to vote on it now.
I'd have to check with the owner as to what he wants to do. I would guess that he would prefer to do the 2 weeks and get an accurate table plan, but could I come back at,
Can we have
maybe Enrico's here.
Oh, the motion is on the floor, so
Okay.
I'll leave the motion on the floor to table it, and I think that's what we should vote on, and he'll just have to live with the 2 weeks.
Yes, I think that that's acceptable. This is Nella Bombardieri. I think that
Okay,
that's acceptable.
perfect. Okay, perfect. I think that's probably the best move here. So the motion is going to be to table this application. And then you'll have the ability to come back different renderings in 2 weeks' time for this committee and then go to that full board meeting. That's the motion. Marco, I see that you're seconding it. Would anyone like to call the question? Okay, it looks like we've got the question called. So the motion is to table this application to have it come back to us. If anyone's going to be voting no or abstaining, please let me know. Otherwise, this is going to be a 6-0 for that action. Okay, great. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, let's now move to the business of hospitality, doing business as not applicable. Is there a representative from this? Yes, it looks like Tanya and Christopher Warren. Wonderful. You're going to get a option to unmute from Jonathan in, click it, and then we'll hear about your application.
Hi, my name is Elena Ristovsky, and I think Donald is here as well tonight. We are applying for two applications tonight. One is for the sidewalk license, which is total of 6 tables only, and it's only on the 73rd Street. And the second part is the roadway application, 4 tables on Lexington Avenue and 15 tables on 73rd Street. So we will comply with all DOT regulations and rules, of course, like all the other applicants. We are very, unlike the other applicants, we are very new in this area. We are actually better known in Upper West Side by CB7. We are always known as very good operators. We've never had any issues either with our liquor license, our sidewalks. For example, Marlow Bistro on Upper West Side currently has around 40 seats, which is a huge wraparound sidewalk cafe. And during COVID time, we had a roadway cafe for 2 years. We never had any issues, any problems. We always closed 10 p.m. We never served after 10 p.m. We understand that this is a residential area. Like most of our restaurants are always in a residential area. These are people who have families, who want to rest, and we always are here to hear them out and acknowledge that. So any questions, we are happy to answer. We are here, of course, to have a discussion with you. Thank you.
Hi, I just wanted to say hello. I'm Donald Bernstein. I'm Elena's lawyer, and I was not unmuted in time. Elena started. I was going to say what she said, but she said it beautifully. So I think that was enough.
Thank you.
Elena, can you just say for me once more what the table and chair count is for the roadway cafe and then the sidewalk cafe?
So first, the sidewalk cafe is only on 73rd Street. It's not on Lex because Lex has a manhole. So we can only have 6 tables on 73rd Street.
So that's 6 tables, 12
Yes,
chairs.
correct.
And then will you tell me the roadway count?
So the roadway on Lex, we have 4 tables, and on 73rd, we have 15 tables.
Okay, so 19 tables, and they're all 2 tops. So
Yes.
30 chairs.
Yes. And I also want to emphasize, I'm all against like all those obnoxious sheds that were like drowning us during COVID. They were used as storage, they were rat infestation areas and whatnot. Our idea is, I mean, there are so many rules now with the DOT. I mean, for most applicants they're very annoying, but I feel like they're there for a purpose. They're there to protect the neighborhoods, right? That people cannot take things for granted. That as everybody was saying, that there is a revocable consent now. It's very easy if the neighbors are complaining or not happy. The roadway license can be revoked, right? The look of it is going to be very sophisticated, very upscale to complement the inside because we are trying to do a little bit more modern and a sophisticated restaurant. It's going to be with beautiful planters and flowers only. They're going to be elevated from the road, from the street itself, for the purpose of not having any rats. There's no permanent or a platform on the road itself. It's going to be very easy to clean. Again, we are staying away from rats and whatnot, and no hard roof on it. So it's going to be very easy to move, and it's just going to look like a beautiful garden on the street.
Okay, so let's go to the public. I see we have a number of public commentators tonight. I'm going to ask that if you have duplicative comments, if someone's already said it, just like say, yes, I agree with that instead of restating it so we can move it along. Let's recognize Tanya and Christopher Warren first.
Hi, yes, thank you so much. We really appreciate you doing this. I'm sorry that it's had to come to this point because we have been speaking a little bit with Elena, who we think is lovely, and her restaurant is lovely for a while. But if you've seen East 73rd Street, where we all live, there's absolutely no room for a roadway cafe there. And it's already very narrow and crowded. Double parking is a big issue. There's not even enough parking on the street as it is for residents. That is actually metered parking that they're talking about taking over. And she mentioned 15 tables on East 73rd, which is a quiet residential street. We have children. We're in bed by 10:30. The nature of the street is quiet and residential. We don't want an outdoor presence on the street that close to the homes. It's also just the problem with rats on East 73rd rather has been terrible. Every resident on the street can tell you we've all worked hard as a community to get rid of the rats. And as much as Elena would like to promise that they're going to keep everything clean, which I'm sure they will, there's just no way to guarantee that those rats will not come back. And as a community, we really have bonded together to try to tackle this problem. And I will say there are many, many people on East 73rd who are very upset about this and very concerned. Some could not make it this late because they didn't realize the 6:30 meeting, we wouldn't get here until 8:41. But I have a list of residents who all gave me their names to speak out for them today, which I can give you. I have at least 10 people here, some of whom are here on the call, I can see, but others who were not able to make it. I just want to emphasize how strongly East 73rd feels about this. We are a tight-knit community. We are a residential community. We've never had an outdoor dining area in the street of East 73rd. It doesn't belong there. If they'd like to keep that part on Lex, that's fine, but it is out of context to the community. And I just cannot emphasize enough how upset we all are about this plan. Thank you.
Okay, Tanya, thank you. And I'm recording that it's multiple members beyond you. I note that you have a list of 10 people. And welcome to the world of local government where 6:30 sometimes means 11:30. Like this is how it all looks for us. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Instead of going in between the and every member of the public, what I'd like to do is run through the members of the public. Then Elena, if you'd like at the end, you, the attorney, whoever wants to represent, can kind of answer some of those concerns. Let's now go to Josh Yeroshalmi.
How are you guys? How's everything? So my name is Josh. I actually live above where they're building this restaurant, 1022 Lexington Avenue. And first, I just wanted to start off just by saying no disrespect to anybody, but I live here. I actually have this letter. I don't know if you guys can see, but I can send pictures that Tanya wrote up and decided, I don't know how she got into our building, which to me, I feel threatened because it's some sort of trespassing, and spread it all around to not only every apartment, all over the halls. I have pictures and documents of all of that. So that's one thing I want to point out before I say everything else. So that really doesn't help any of us and makes me, as a resident above this restaurant, feel threatened. But I just wanted to say that as someone living here for the past few years, I support this restaurant and what they want to do because I don't see it as a restaurant where things are going to get rowdy. It's not some sort of place where teens are going to be hanging out. It's a very high-end boutique luxury restaurant, and I think would actually bring some livelihood to our block after it's been vacant for over 5 years now. And I see nothing bad about this or how it would affect us. I understand some people may have children, but this isn't anything that would affect your children sleeping or being in bed by 10:30 or by even 9:30 because this isn't a club they're opening. This is a very high-end fancy restaurant. So I just wanted to say that I'm very for this and put that on the record.
Thank you very much. Let's now recognize Battisti. Battisti, you should be getting a notification to unmute. And in the interim, if we're not getting a response there, let's go to Ali Dishy.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for your attention on this. We really appreciate it. As someone who lives directly across the street from the restaurant, we can certainly attest that it will be beautiful, and we're excited to add this to the street. However, in our building, we have 6 children under the age of 6. And so it certainly does raise concern, not necessarily that it would be rowdy to a club, but that it will certainly add more people to a relatively safe street, add noise. As Tanya mentioned, the street is incredibly quiet and residential. We do have a school on this street actually during the days where the street is blocked off. There are school buses that need to transfer through the street routinely. There are constantly barricades. There are security guards. There are children that play in the street during school hours. It's not necessarily the most conducive to add, let alone sidewalk tables, but to a roadway cafe. So we are wholeheartedly at building 133 73rd against the addition of the roadway cafe, although we hope to be quite great customers of the restaurant. It just certainly isn't what we're looking to add to the streets right now.
Thank you. And thanks for staying concise and differentiated in your points. Let's go to Kim Spivak.
Hi, thank you. I actually live right next door the restaurant. I'm at 136 with Joey, who actually lost connection. And I support everything that Ali and Tanya were saying. I am concerned about the rat situation on our street. We've had, as Tanya said, a lot of problems, and we've really worked hard as a community to get that sorted. I also believe that it shouldn't, they're children on the street. I mean, it's their playground in the day. We've got Buckley at the end of the street and kids are running around. I just don't think it's a safe environment for kids if there's going to be vermin, if there is any. And I just don't think that this street really needs a very boisterous street. It's a historic street. We have, really quiet residents who live here, and I'm just concerned about the noise going on until I don't know what hours you said, but it was till 10 o'clock and 10 o'clock. Yeah. We're all in bed before 10. So yeah, I'm not for the roadside situation, but you do have 2 floors, so I don't really believe that do you need all these tables outside if you've got a 2-floor restaurant going on?
The only reason.
Thank you. And I'll note for everyone here, 10 p.m. is the standard operating closure time for any outdoor restaurants operating within Community Board 8. Let's go to Bonnie Borden.
Yes, hello everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I am against the shed, and the reason why is because we already have so much constant traffic and cleaning up on a daily basis. At least 2 to 3 times a day, we clean up on a daily basis. We have a lot of commerce on this street for many years. I've been here since 1999. And I feel very alarmed by this. I'm very concerned about it. It will change the demeanor of the street. I'm very concerned about that. And we do have a rat situation that we finally feel has been a little bit better because of the garbage can situation. And I've been so happy with that condition changing. It is very concerning to me that we're going to have more foot traffic and more food issues and more rat problems. I'm very concerned about the traffic and the parking. Even tonight, I just caught a guy urinating in front of my house. I had to clean it up. It's a constant worry. It takes over my day-to-day life. I feel like I will definitely suffer quality of life issues from this. And I'm really hoping that the shed will not happen. It will be an absolute nightmare for us as neighbors on this street. I think we've worked very hard to make this street clean and satisfactory for everyone who lives on it and works on it. And I am very concerned about the school There's a lot of kids that are on this street with the school. I feel like the garbage and the rats and the whole thing, it'll just turn into a whole other situation for us. And I feel like the garbage can situation has done such an extraordinary job to alleviate the rat population. I mean, we have a very, very serious rat population on this street. So I don't really understand why the shed is necessary. I think it's really detrimental. Also, there is a fire hydrant right there where the shed's going to go, and there's a fire hydrant in front of my house. And I feel very challenged by if there is an emergency and the shed is there, where are the fire trucks going to go? I don't see if there is an emergency how this is going to work out. It's very, very concerning to me. So
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to note that right now in our whatever motion we consider on this, we have public objection due to rats, noise, traffic, safety in the form of fire access, and concerns for children in the area and schools nearby. Those are the things that I have right now. So if you have additional points, please let me know. Or if you just want to second the ones that I've already made, you can do that as well. Ronnie's iPhone.
Hi, guys. Thank you for your time. I've been on this call for quite a while, so I appreciate everything that you guys do for us. Just to add a few points, I second everything that was said already. Another thing is that this restaurant is newly operational. It hasn't even been operating yet, so we don't know. We don't have any track record of any sort with them. We don't know how respectful they're going to be to the neighborhood. This is a quiet block, very different from every other block that was discussed on this call. Every other block had some sort of avenue that could have been used as well. Here we're talking about 73rd Street, which is very quiet. Beautiful townhouses down the block. I live right across the street, and I can't imagine this, any sort of outdoor seating being in this neighborhood. So I appreciate your time and thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's go to Andrea De Alessandro.
Good evening. I work for Andrea D'Alessandro. I work for the owner of 136 East 73rd Street. I do remember outdoor tables when the last restaurant was operating there, and I would be okay with, I would say, 4 or 5 outdoor tables on 73rd Street, but nothing more. I just have to reiterate everything else everyone has said against the restaurant. That's about all I can say.
Let's go on to Terry.
Hi, good evening. My name is Terry O'Toole. I represent the Buckley School. The one thing that hasn't been mentioned, or perhaps it was slightly, we do have an open street program on that 73rd Street. We close the street from 9 to 2 every day as a open street playground for schools. The boys are out there running back and forth. There also is, we have a number of buses that come to the school. Several other schools have drop-off of buses in the area, and several of the buses turn south from Lexington Avenue onto 73rd Street. So that the outdoor street cafe would be possibly harmed by that. I know it's very difficult, but it's a hard turn for the buses every day. And we agree with everything else that was said. I mean, the rat situation it's getting a little better, but it's still out there. And thank you.
Thank you, Terry. I'm adding this concern about the play spaces and the buses to the list of the things that are here right now. Let's recognize Kay.
Hi, I live down the block at 128, and I just moved in a year ago with my family, 3 kids, and I've already noticed the rat situation has been under control due to the bins, and the added restaurant would just create a lot of mess and commotion that that it would not be necessary for our residential neighborhood. We already have enough of an issue with the piano bar that's around the corner on Lexington Avenue, where people hang out around the corner right in front of this new operation, smoking cigarettes at night and vomiting. Neighborhood community, and there's the cleanliness of the neighborhood is of utmost importance, and nor have these people who've moved in have notified or discussed any of their intentions to the community at large, which will impact us negatively. Thank you. My name is Kuling Yerman, by the way.
Thank you. I'd now like to go back to Donald and Elena, if you have responses or comments.
Yeah, thanks. A couple of things I want to say, and then I'm sure Elena wants to chime in. First, from what I'm hearing, I think the issue is the roadway on 73rd. So I haven't heard any issues with the very small setup on Lexington. And except for maybe one person, I don't remember who, maybe it was Kay, I don't hear any objection as to the sidewalk on 73rd. So I think the principal issue relates to the roadway from how I interpreted the people who spoke. With respect to the fire hydrant, if you look at the floor plans, there is no seating in front of that hydrant. That hydrant is close to Lexington. The seating is a number of feet past that. I think it's 15 feet past that. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm seeing. So there's no blocking of the fire hydrant. That's not an issue. The city has sort of, in passing the rules last year allowing for the roadway seating, has made a public policy determination that there is a benefit to the city in a number of ways in having this. And they promulgated rules on the size, on measurements and clearances, etc. And the public policy as enacted by the city council with this is that if you fall within those guidelines, you're entitled to a DOT permit. So I'm saying that not being insensitive to the concerns that were expressed. I do understand those concerns. I think some of them are a little bit overblown. And again, I don't mean to demean what anybody is saying. Someone said that they have no track record. Elena, her husband, and their partner have been in the restaurant business for years. Yes, this is their first foray in the East Side. This restaurant's going to be Marlowe East. They have a Marlowe West on 116th Street, I think it is, on the west side, 10th. And they also had Cibo e Vino, which was a beloved restaurant on the west side that unfortunately just closed because the landlord had scaffolding there for years, and it made the situation impossible. They had outdoor seating there on 89th Street. That is a very residential block, and they had no complaints. They had no issues. In fact, I think when we came for the liquor license application, one of the Community Board 7 members wrote a letter in support, which I've been doing this a long time. I don't get too many community board members writing letters in support of someone who's going into another neighborhood. I've represented them for years, and I think they are one of the best, classiest, most sensitive operators I've ever had the pleasure to work for. I think their place is going to be immaculate. I think, as some of the people said, even the people that don't like the roadway seating are going to be some of Elena's best customers. In terms of children, I hear this a lot. I get it. I raise kids in Manhattan. It's not the quietest place, but as one of the former chairmen of the SLA said, that by living in Manhattan, you should not unreasonably suffer from noise, but you should reasonably suffer for noise. I think it puts it in good context. Nobody's entitled to absolute silence, but no one should suffer with excessive noise. And I don't think that that's going to be the problem here. There's no music outside. People are coming to dine. This is not a heavy drinking establishment by any means. There are children all over Manhattan. Any place that has a sidewalk cafe or roadway seating in any residential neighborhood, there are children there. This is not just children on 73rd Street. Again, I don't mean to be insensitive to it, but but the policy is that there is a way to live together with all of this. And we have restrictions. One of your restrictions is you got to close by 10. We don't want you to be open too late. And that's something that we're certainly agreeable to for the Roadway Cafe. I think that's all that I want to say. I would ask that you approve the sidewalk. I would
I was
ask.
gonna, hold on, Donald, if I may. It sounds like you might be open to the idea of considering these separately so that it would be a sidewalk cafe resolution by itself and then a roadway cafe that maybe
Right.
you'd be opening to tabling or getting I don't know, what the outcome is there.
So yeah, I think that's what I was going to say, and I think that's a good suggestion. So we would like you to approve the sidewalk on 73rd. We'd like you to approve the small roadway on Lexington, and I have to leave it to Elena to say what she'd like to do with the roadway on 73rd, which is either take your vote um, or table it for further discussion. I'm not, the only thing I'll say, and I'll say publicly because I'm not in the same room as Elena, is that given what I've heard, I'm not so sure tabling it is going to get us very far. But certainly, if Elena's willing to do that, I'm all in favor of open dialogue.
Yeah, tabling is fine. The ability to withdraw is also an option. But right now, I'm separating these things in our minutes here so that we're going to have a separate thing for the roadway and for the sidewalk cafe, presuming Elena's okay with this.
Yeah. Elena,
Yes.
you want to add anything?
Yes.
Go ahead.
And again, we are here to work with you, and we are very thankful. And I'm sure in years to come, you will write new letters for us in another community. So we just want to show you that we are really, really good operators, and especially to Tanya, who is our first neighbor. We're going to show her how well we are going to run this place.
Okay, so right now we have this separated into two different ones. Let's recognize Tanya, and then I'm going to go to the committee.
Yeah, I just wanted to reiterate what I was saying. I don't think anyone has a problem with the sidewalk cafe. I mean, that looks lovely. Really, what I think are the neighborhood's objection to is the roadway piece of it. I know there's two separate, and I see the two separate plans. I have copies of the two separate plans. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't think anyone has objections to the sidewalk cafe. It looks lovely. I just wanted to say that.
Okay, thank you. That's incredibly helpful. Let's go ahead and recognize Marco.
Thank you. And thank you for the residents and thank you for the restaurant. Um, the point is, I don't have no doubts that it's a good restaurant. It's very hard to accuse for something that is not true. Also, yes, it's true. This is a public policy that we have to follow, and always I try to do that. On the other hand, this public policy was created with the lack of input of our community, especially our community, because we are the densest community board in the United States. 240,000 people per square mile is telling right there that we are very crowded and we need to have some space for residential and space for commercial. And yes, I cannot put a motion, but I will support the sidewalk, but I won't support, probably it will be smart for the business to go for to delay or to withdraw the application and try harder with the residents to find a solution, because I think it looks like it's a good restaurant, and I think that the residents and the business can reach a very good agreement. So in the sidewalk, I will support. On the other one, it's more likely I'm gonna see to table that application. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's recognize Judy.
I'd like to put a motion on the floor, and if it's seconded, speak to it. The first motion would be to approve the sidewalk cafe.
Second.
Seconded by Marco.
Okay.
Please speak to it.
Now, I'm sorry, I may have missed this. When you have a street cafe on 73rd Street, is that out in the street all the time? Is that there at noontime? What are the hours? How does that work? Because if that street is closed until, I think Mr. Terry said, until 1 or 2 o'clock for the school, I don't see how we can have a cafe on 73rd if it's being closed for the school. I mean, are they going to bring it out every day after the street opens when this school closing is no longer in existence?
Well, I also like for the last 6 months since we started building the restaurant, we've been there and I see the street being closed and we're very close friends with the security guys and all the people. They're super, very much wonderful. And I really don't understand the issue because they are like, for example, some cars are being let in, right? The security guard is the one who is, moving and like allowing a specific person who is there for pickup and whatnot. So there is like, why would the cafe be closed? It's only for people, right? So they can sit down for lunch, which will be open from 12 to 3, and then we close, and then we open from 5. Um, During the summer, the school is closed, right? So we can also limit if there is a huge concern with Mr. Terry. And I just wanted to address that's why, because of the, turn and the safety issues, that's why the road cafe is a little bit pushed towards the middle because they wanted to do a clearance as well as respect the 20 feet cross walk. So there is, for safety purposes, the side our road ways a cafe, it's done like that. So we are willing to discuss and say the hours that you feel that are appropriate, that the roadway can be open. Like if Mr. Terry says, like, I feel like you can open lunch from 3, we'll do that, or you cannot open these days, we'll do that. I mean, it is honestly, we're here to stay, and this is like a permanent program, right? So we want to do the things the right way. We're definitely not willing to have this discussion in a very bad way or a negative note. So absolutely, whatever you recommend and you suggest, by all means, you are the ones who know this area the best, better than us, even though we think that we know it so well.
So why don't we, Lindsay, I have a suggestion. Why don't we put over the 73rd Street roadway? I think your next meeting's in 2 weeks. And if you can, would you vote on the sidewalk, which I think you're in the process
Well,
of?
we already have a motion, right? We have a motion on the floor for voting on the sidewalk cafe.
And
If you're
the other
saying right
part,
now,
yeah, just the other part is the 4 tables on Lexington and the roadway. We'd like, because I haven't heard an objection, so we'd like.
Oh, wait a minute. I have the floor at the moment, so let me finish. Um, Not only was I concerned about the buses and everything and the school being there, um, I'm concerned about this issue of the fire hydrant because it's not a question of just one truck. God forbid there's really a bad fire there. You've got a couple of fire trucks, you've got ambulances that may come, etc. And you've got police cars that show up to this if God forbid there's a real fire there. I know my motion is on the sidewalk part, but I guess I went off and I'm discussing 73rd Street. I can wait until we come back and vote on that separately. But I just have to say, I'm not in favor of the 73rd Street part. The Lexington Avenue part, I don't have a problem with. I think we can vote on that as a separate resolution. Maybe we can have 3 resolutions or 2 resolutions and table apart.
I don't really want to start the process of breaking up streets or applications for roadway to say, here's the part we disagree with and here's the part we agree with. I think the best movement here is to do this sidewalk cafe vote. And then it sounds like the applicant will be willing to table the roadway. If not, then we can consider it, but I don't want to have us break it up because then we're going to get into places where we're breaking it up for everyone. When someone says, I don't want it close to my fire escape or I don't want it, whatever. So that's what I suggest we do, permitting that that's okay. But Judy, your motion is for the sidewalk, right?
Right, I'm just strictly the, so
Okay,
as long as
let's
you
do
want
let's
to-
do that vote and then let's circle back on this other question. So is anyone, Barbara, are you calling the question there? Perfect. So this is going to be a resolution to approve the sidewalk cafe, 6 tables, 12 chairs. If anyone is going to be voting no or abstaining, please let me know. Otherwise, this is going to go down as a 6-0 approval for the sidewalk cafe. That seems correct. All right. Now let's get on to this business about the roadway cafe. Donald and Elena, would you be willing to have this be tabled and come back in 2 weeks, or do you want us to proceed with it as it's been presented?
I think Elena will speak to her neighbors and we'll come back in 2 weeks and see if they can make some progress.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that sounds good. Would one of the board members like to make a motion to table? Seems like Judy, Marco's seconding it. Let's call the question on that. If anyone's going to vote no or abstaining on this, please let me know. Otherwise, we're going to table this and it's going to be a 6-0 agreement to do that on the roadway cafe. Okay, perfect. Thank you, everyone. Business
very much.
members, board members, for moving that along as best we could. We have just 3 things left to do. Marco, did you have something that you wanted to say? No? Okay. So let's go to this next applicant, which is Hutchin Waldo. I see the representative here. When you're ready, please let us know about your application.
Hi, everyone. How are you? My name is Al McFarland from Hutchin Waldo. Thank you to CB8, the Upper East Side, as well, for the great support we've had over this last 9 years. And also thank you for staying up so late. To open with, we agree to obey and comply with all the roadway rules and regulations of the DOT. We'll keep the area clean, no storage, and all other recommendations provided. We are applying for our roadway cafe, which we operated through COVID with no complaints. We have been we're operating that throughout, which was great. The application has 9 tables, 18 chairs. The dimensions is 7 feet 6 inches deep with a 1-inch clearance and then 20 feet wide. Our hours of operation are Monday through Sunday. We're 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. So we close nice and early. Fast casual, no alcohol. We serve coffee, sandwiches, salads, and smoothies.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone from the public that has questions for this applicant? Seeing none, before I recognize Mark, I'll do something with the chair's prerogative, which is I live right on this street. I walk by this restaurant 5 days out of the week, and I think it adds to the character of the neighborhood.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Let's recognize Marco.
Thank you. I would like to put a motion. The motion is to approve as presented, and then I would like to speak.
All right, you have some seconds.
Okay, so the only thing I'm going to ask you is, I think you have at the beginning, we have some problem with you. You fixed and you operate better. Are you going to continue to operate in the same way that you operating right now?
Absolutely, Marco. I love seeing a smile on your face, you know.
Okay, I'm very happy to hear that. And please, you're going to be controlling rats, cleanliness, all this kind of stuff as a part of the stipulation.
Of course.
Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
He said it. It's already in it. Sounds good. Let's recognize Barbara.
Just to call the question.
Perfect. All right. So this is a motion to approve. If you're going to vote no or abstain, please let me know. Otherwise, this is going to go down as a 6-0 approval. All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Lindsay. Thanks, everyone.
Let's now go to Green Kitchen. Is there a representative from Green Kitchen here? Hi.
Yes. You'll finish off the night with me. Okay. So we will comply with all the rules and regulations of the DOT. We will not store anything in the roadway, and we will clean it daily. So this is a roadway cafe application for Green Kitchen, 1619 2nd Avenue, East 84th to East 85th. We have a structure that'll have 19 tables, 38 seats. That is 34 feet, 1 inch by 8 feet. We're 20 feet away from the crosswalk because it's approaching traffic. They did have a much bigger structure during COVID. They've been open and operating over 6 years. There's 70 seats inside with 3 bathrooms. Our operating hours are 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., 7 days a week. The outdoor will be open Sunday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., and Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m.
All right. Is there anyone from the public that has questions for this applicant? Seeing none, let's go to Marco.
Thank you. And thank you for saying all of that. But I'm very interested to know what happened with the sidewalk. Even though that is not part of this application, but you has been using the sidewalk.
Yes, we have a sidewalk cafe application in that was filed before August 4th, so we're allowed to use it.
So you have we approve?
No, that hasn't come up yet. But since it was applied for before August 4th, meaning the August 3rd deadline, the DOT is allowing you to operate the sidewalk cafe.
Well, okay. So the only thing I'm going to say is next. Are you against to put a stipulation saying that you will come back when it is required to show up for the sidewalk cafe, and I think that's it. Are you willing to do that?
I want to.
Okay. Thank you. I will support this application.
Okay, I'll add that in. Let's recognize Barbara.
Well, I don't think I could speak and call the question. I just will say that during COVID, I mean, I had sleepless nights because there was loud music, and they said they would turn around. It is really a loved restaurant. And the outdoor cafe, it was always really pretty with flowers and everything, with just a few. And you're going to have the same few chairs on the street side, not the Second Avenue side. Am I right? I think it's just on the street side, and I would very much want to support what they want to do because it's really a nice addition to our neighborhood.
Okay, thank you. Judy.
The question.
Perfect. So this is a motion to approve. If anyone is voting no or abstaining, please let me know. Otherwise, this is going to go down as a 6-0 approval. Okay, this is our last application of the night. Is there a representative from Finnegan's Wake? Is it Mr. Kelly?
Yes, it is.
All right.
Okay, so we will comply with all the rules and regulations of the DOT. This is a sidewalk cafe, so the chairs and tables will be taken in at night, and we will clean daily. So this is a sidewalk cafe application for Finnegan's. We're an Irish gastropub. The restaurant's been there since 1972, as stated on their awning. We have 13 tables with 26 seats. 4 tables and 8 seats are on First Avenue, which is a regional corridor requiring a 10-foot clearance from obstructions in front of the cafe. We'll be using 5 feet of the 15-foot sidewalk, leaving the 10 feet. We have 9 tables and 18 seats on East 73rd Street. We'll be using 5 feet, 11 inches of a 14-foot, 9-inch sidewalk. And there is a fire hydrant on 73rd that we clear by the 8 feet. There's 68 people or seats inside, and we have 2 bathrooms.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone from the public with questions for this applicant? John, can you remind me, did we have constituent emails on Finnegan's Wake?
Can't recall on that.
Okay.
Let me check right now.
You would know. I don't think there was. I, for some reason, thought there was something coming at the end, but maybe that was the.
Hey, Lindsay, it's Jordan. I just wanted to say that we did not get any on Finnegan's Wake.
Okay, thank you. That must have been me transposing something. Let's recognize Judy.
Motion to approve.
You got seconds. And would someone like to call a question? Okay, Barbara's calling a question. This is a motion to approve. If you are going to vote no or abstain, please let me know. Otherwise, this is going to go down as a 6-0 approval. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good night. See you soon.
Good night. Board members, before you leave, I do want to ask a question that Valerie puts to, did everyone get that email from Valerie, or was that just, did you guys see a question? Okay. So Valerie wanted to know if we would like to put a few more questions on the applications that people are submitting to us, like when they're doing the affidavits to us. The questions that she wanted to ask, Jordan, you might have to like fill it in here. There was 3 of them. One of them I think was like how many bathrooms you have, or do you have this list?
Yes, give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull it up.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up too. I have too many emails from Valerie. All right, here it is, actually. Here it is.
You got it?
Yes. So question was the bathroom question. So how many bathrooms they have, if we want to have them answer that. Question 2 is if it's the same size as the old COVID roadway space. And question 3 was, do we want to look at the total number of seats inside plus outside? And should they have that number on the applications? Open to your thoughts. Judy, Marco, anyone else who has thoughts on if we want to put these in or not. Marco, I mean, we can unmute everyone, John. I don't care. We can hear how this goes. Yeah.
Okay, so I already raised these 2 questions before. The number of people inside and the number of people outside, that leads to establish the total number of people that they need to use a bathroom. Bathroom is a critical issue in the entire city, and I think if we create this, if we don't resolve this matter, it create some other problems, and we don't want to be there. And in addition to that, I think it will be very nice if we can put as a part of this of the application. I can download the regulations of the bathrooms, so everybody will know in advance what will be our concerns. So make easier for everybody, because we are not trying to hide anything, nor to surprise at the time when they file this application. It should be very smart from us to just let them know what is the rules. So it make easier for everybody. And I think I agree with the number of people inside and outside, so we can have the number of bathrooms needed. Also, we had to explain that now, according with the regulations, doesn't need to have a female bathroom and a male bathroom. It has to be, that is unisex. So we cannot go over there. So we clarify the applicants so they will aware exactly what was our position, and they can fix that part. In addition to that, if they touch the bathroom, it should be handicap accessible one bathroom and the other one's not. So, and I think this kind of situation, if we put it the handicap as a part of this regulation, that will be great. Thank you.
Okay, so does anyone like object to us putting the number count, or Barbara or Judy, you can tell us whatever you think here.
Yeah, I do. I wanted to add also ADA. You know, I would like to ask the question about it, but the example we had today where there was an ice cream place with only one bathroom, ice cream, you're there for 20 minutes. It isn't like a 5-course meal where you're going to be there for a couple of hours and you may want more bathrooms. So to some degree, I hope it's not in stone, because I think different restaurants would be different. You know, a sandwich place, you turn over that quickly and you don't need as many. I'm going to say 2 things about ADA. I do think that we need the accessible bathrooms, and it should be wide enough that a wheelchair can go in. The other part is accessible going in. And what often happens is that to make it accessible, there's like a cement is poured over a step to make it a ramp type of thing. It is so steep, though, that for those of us that are not in wheelchairs, it's dangerous. I've been in places, particularly like on First Avenue or so, where you walk out and you don't realize that there's no step and you have to go all the way down. So to some degree, I would like to ask, is it ADA and how is it ADA? Um, because that would make a difference to me.
Let me answer that part.
Okay.
Judy, you want to answer?
Yeah, first place, I just want to say something. In the Parks Department, they're calling them universal bathrooms.
Yeah.
That's handicapped, ADA accessible. So we might want to use that phrase universal rather because some people don't like, I think I heard at a board meeting that saying that it was handicapped wasn't the right terminology for us to use. I'm not good on terminology, but when I heard that at Parks, that they used the word universal, which means the exact same thing, maybe we could pick that up and
Oh, that doesn't mean unisex? I would have taken it to
no, universal means
okay.
that it's, for wheelchairs, for men, for women, for whoever.
Yeah, I've been in where they say it's handicapped, but you walk in and it's so small that in
Well,
fact
that's another story,
yeah.
Bob. When people don't tell the truth. That's a different story.
Okay.
So
Go ahead, Marco.
So the issue right here is when they modify the button, they must file in DOV. And DOV actually is the institution to interpret and enforce the rules because I cannot do that myself. That's not the right way to do it. So therefore, when they modify the button, they had to file in DOV. When they file in DOV, they will control the whole path because bedroom handicap accessible is not only the bedroom that comply with the regulations, is the whole path since you enter from outside directly to the bedroom, it has to be accessible for people with disabilities. So DOV will be in charge to do that.
Okay.
And once they approve, if we find that is wrong, we can go against DOV because they don't enforce properly the regulations. Otherwise, if we're gonna go and complain and something that may or may not be true, and that we don't want to be in that predicament, especially with the business, because they think that we are against business, and we are not against business. We are in favor of the business. The only thing we try to do is to management. The management has to be adequately according with the needs of the community. And if they serve properly, if they profit, I think is great. But the bottom line is when you have to say handicap because it is required at least one bedroom handicap and the other bedroom not. If, for instance, if it's required to have two bedrooms, you cannot put two universal bedrooms. You have to have one big enough. The dimension is 7 feet and 4 inches by 5 feet. That is handicap. And the other can be is almost half of that. So because we have to be very careful, most of the stores have a very small food area that is to ask two handicap bedrooms or 300 handicap bedrooms is too much. So we have to be very concerned that, with the space and reasonable. And the best way is to file in DOB. And remember, as a members of the community board, we are the bottom of the city system. And one of our goal is to go find out revenues for the city. And when they file in DOV, we created this kind of the business and taxes for the city. That's what we're looking for. So the situation is the best way is yes, I agree with everything that everybody said, but the point is let's go do with that direction and let's go put this on extra information so the applicant will know what to do. And we strongly recommend to file in DOV. So we can release any problems, especially accessibility at the entrance. And sometimes if you don't modify the button, the only thing you have to provide a removable ramp, which is allowed by ADA regulations. So that will move in that direction. Thank
So
you.
it sounds like we have agreement that we would like to know the table count and the chair count inside and out so that we can do this sort of like bathroom assessment. It sounds like I'm fine with saying like, because they already have to tell us if they're ADA compliant or not. I'm fine with having like an ADA compliant, comma, describe how. That feels like fine to put it on them. Um, I don't know, John or Jordan, which one of you is going to end up adding this to the list, but if you can sort of take that. Is there any other pieces that we feel like we should have added to the list, Judy?
Well, I mean, we keep asking all these street people with the street cafes, are you going to meet DOT regulations? Are you going to take your furniture in at night? Are you going to wash down the roadway? Why don't we just put these in the stipulations for so that when they get the material, they have all these stipulations. And if they're filing a report, they're agreeing to the stipulations,
That's
right?
fine with me as well. If we want to say you'll take all necessary rat mitigation efforts and you'll agree to be compliant that the outdoor spaces aren't used for storage when not in use, that feels fine. So that's like four things that we're adding. I don't really care that we make them answer those questions
Right,
because
then we
it
don't have to keep asking.
speeds everything up.
Right, we just say, are you going to comply with everything? They say yes. So then if
Yeah.
they don't, then
Okay.
they didn't tell the truth. I have a totally different question. Are we now going to be meeting twice a month regularly?
I hope not. I hope not. I think this was because we just had so many that, like, because this program just started, I do not think so.
Because next month in May, the fourth Monday, I know I have these meetings on the fourth Monday, and also it happens to be Memorial Day, so we
Yeah.
changed our meetings to Tuesday. So I'm just trying to figure out what the board is going to do with this, with all. We're going to be getting a whole bunch of
Calendar
things.
is already out, so you could look and see.
Yeah. John, I feel like you have an answer here.
Yeah, John, are we having two next month?
No, no, not this moment. No, no.
Okay, but it may during the month happen that we have to have another one, right?
The exact reason for this one was because of the short notice we were given of the DOT applications that led us to have to put these on to the April 28th meeting, basically. So that was the reasoning around that. Um, again, we've been receiving DOT applications and processing appropriately, but this only is a special case example because of the short notice we were giving on these DOT applications, which were, my recollection, I believe a day before.
It was at 10:30 p.m. the day before April 1st Street Life meeting that they sent
Correct.
us 15 applications.
Well, how do we know they're not going to do that next month and the month after? Because they're so far behind.
We reached out and we requested to keep the timing in mind. So hopefully, going forward and with the season kind of coming to a halt, since we're like right at the beginning of summer, we're gonna kind of tableau at this most likely will be like the max that we're gonna be receiving.
Okay. Thank you. Just asking. Thank you.
Everyone, this has been so nice that we've had this extra chit chat. The minutes are done. Like I was able to get those done, so I'm gonna send those over. Thank you so much for tonight. This was like as good as we could have hoped, even with those like sort of contentious pieces. I was really pleased that we were able to do all of this as quickly as we could.
Can we say something? Let's go put something about reliability on the drawings or in the application because we don't want to look. Two applications was misleading, and I think we had to advise them don't do that. We had to do something to avoid these kind of situations. It's not good for the business. It's not good for us. And then basically we are in an uncomfortable position to say maybe no, maybe do any other actions. So I think it's better to put something in that part to avoid that the applicants go in the wrong direction.
Yeah, so maybe that could be something like the pictures have to be within the last 15 days or something, because those pictures from the Mykonos house were not were not from this like last 3 months, like maybe more. So maybe that can be some direction that we have that says like up-to-date pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
With that, motion to adjourn if you can.
Hooray!
Thank you.
Great job,
All
Lindsay.
right. Thank you.
Very
Thank
good,
you.
Lindsay.
See you all in probably very soon.